In the heart of the Philippines, where the sun always shines, there's a tale of resilience in the midst of hard times. George and Heidi with courage in their stride, facing down the critics with nothing to hide. Oh, George and Heidi, shining bright. In the face of adversity, they take flight. With every negative comment, they rise above, spreading love and laughter through the power of love. On the streets of Manila, they share their story bold. Through the lens of their camera, their adventures unfold. But amidst the laughter, there's criticism too. Yet George and Heidi, they always stay true. Oh, George and Heidi, shining bright. In the face of adversity, they take flight. With every negative comment, they rise above, spreading love and laughter through the power of love. They share their story bold. Through the lens of their camera, their adventures unfold. But amidst the laughter, there's criticism too. Yet George and Heidi, they always stay true. Oh, George and Heidi, shining bright. In the face of adversity, they take flight. With every negative comment, they rise
Run, my man,
above.
run. Just saying, that's my tip for you.
Can they actually hear that?
Yeah, I can. Yes, I was. Yeah, I was saying,
kind of
run, dude, run.
Right.
Do the running man.
Okay. So,
Cat's running.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hiya, people. Here we are back a second time by popular demand. And for all of those that are wondering, and we're letting the room build up. Georgia said no corniness. This is serious because somebody's going to be deported.
I'm trying to distract everybody from the loud engine that our neighbor has.
Right. So, for popular request of World Zoom, Paul Cardwell. I guess there were some people that were just like all over the place with the story about World Zoom and what's happened. And a lot of people don't even know about him a whole lot because some watch him, others knew about him, and then some don't even know that like a year ago something popped off in Dumageddon when he lived in that area called Dramageddon about him, and every man has a story. And it looks like Paul has beat Mark Thornton to the punch on being deported. And we have the real reason and some updated information, and it's the real deal. So we're going to go through exactly what actually happened. We're going to kind of break down where Paul told his stories and bring back in some recaps. I have some of the documents of his federal court hearings. Okay. It initially was 12 charges of wire fraud. Okay. And the amount that they're putting in the newspapers isn't really right. It's just the last information that they actually had. So, to give you guys a breakdown, for Paul, World Zoom, it looks like it basically started where he went to apply for an extension of his current visa or to go for a extension. Okay. And when they did a further background, this is when what they're putting in the newspaper is actually going, has actually come up. And I want to let you guys know that I've seen probably a dozen vloggers cover this today, and only one will I agree with right now, because he said about the most intelligent thing that I heard And then we'll fill you in what we actually think and what we actually found out by a few phone calls today and research and looking into court documents and what we didn't find. Okay. So since this morning, we already had some information because to everybody, this literally just came out in the newspaper about midnight. So most everybody was sleeping. They woke up. Some of us get up at 5 and 6. They found it. And then all of a sudden, boom, everybody was putting a story out. But I just keep hearing the basics and all these insinuations of what happened. I heard Mike's retirement, Philippine retirement over in Dumaguete, where he said he doesn't cover drama. He sure was in on that first thing on the live stream this morning. He's like, I don't know.
I don't cover drama, but let's talk about it.
But no, he's like, I don't know. Every time somebody asks, I don't know. Okay. And I'm like, oh, why are you doing a live stream? It's like
you just are
he
talking
just
about
did
drama.
it.
You
Right. So, and it's
drama.
okay to cover it. Okay. But it's like we said, own it. And there's going to be somebody that's going to pick over your bones. I expect you guys to clean your plate when I go out of here like that. Okay. So when they hook the cuffs on me and they put me up out of here for whatever reason, I want you guys to pick over my bones real good. I'm counting on it. That's for real.
Don't worry, baby. That's what the freezer in the back is for.
I said pick over my bones, like all my drama, babe. Be sure to put all the drama out, right?
Sig, just saying.
I'm not talking about that, man.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of a sentence.
Wow.
But anyway, they're going too dark there.
Yeah, it's funny. I see Alex saying Zoom back to the States. Well, he just got back here. So there was an insane insinuation that he went back to expunge his records.
Okay,
and we
there
were
is
just
no expunging that. There's
not really. It would take hearings, and he just got there. It wasn't long enough for him to try to expunge nothing. And so that's not why he went back to the U.S. No. And then there was insinuations that he lied the whole time and that he was here pretending, but the house just looked all like the U.S. No, he actually went back. But then here's my thing. I don't know. I don't know why he would take a risk when there's that many things going on. But I will tell you guys what actually is going on. Hey, Michael Johnson, Music Demotion.
Oh yeah, speaking of Michael Johnson, yeah. Guys, you guys like that intro? This is the gentleman responsible for the music.
Our theme song.
Thank you so
which
much,
we
Michael.
Plan to use. We really do appreciate it. So a lot of people like that song. I see a few people in the house, so we're going to get into it. So that way,
Ted,
this is covered up front, because I told George we should have covered this morning, but again, we wanted more information. So we will give it to you now all dirty. Okay, let me give it to you nice, hot, and dirty. That's the way they like that live stream today. Give it to them dirty, babe.
All right, I'll call you car seat number 2.
So, how do you want to break this down? Do you want me to give them the full breakdown and then the videos, or?
Okay, well, actually, again, just so you guys know, be aware that not everybody knows who Paul Caldwell is. Nobody knows his whole story. In fact, Dusty, again, everybody knows Dusty at this point in time among you guys in the chat.
There's a lot of new people.
Right, there's a lot of new people, and bear with us that, again, that's another thing. Even us, while we're going through the content, we were like, oh my God, I completely forgot about that,
Right. So Paul Caldwell, World Zoom, just popped up out of nowhere. His channel, I think, started over 2 years ago. Allegedly, he said he was in Thailand. He went through the Dumaguete group, saying, how everybody gets their interviews through Everyman, and how Paul and Mike's Philippine retirement, all these guys interviewed him, right? He ended up also on the Filipina P, which she has deleted the video since. Right. When she found out that everything coming out of his mouth was an untruth.
She's the first one to drop it.
Right. Honestly, she was the very first one to drop it. One. And then we were sitting there listening to a story one day, and I was like, that just doesn't sound right. He's got too much. You know how you hear every man has a story? Some of them stories you're like, is that even real?
And that's why we're going to go back. This is also for you guys who've known who he is, but for those who again, right. For the new ones, we're going to go back in time only because to establish character.
Okay. Right. So, well, I was just asking which one you wanted to do. Okay. So
either way, here's
his wanted by the FBI poster. Okay. This was him back in the day when the states was looking for him. Okay. And what it is he stole a lot of money from a hospital. Okay. He was upper management there. And what happened is the amount that the Philippines is telling you guys is incorrect. It was one of the wire fraud money that he sent over to actually spend in Thailand to buy property. Okay. So the initial money, and that was the second guy that was with him that was charged, by the way. So there was another guy with him. Okay. That he ended up wiring money to all the time that created a fake company. And it was some story because it was all over the news for Wyoming and Indiana and everything. 3.8 million US dollars is what he managed to get all the way around. And by the way, there were some big papers covering this, like his court hearing, everything else. It was a big deal back in the day. So from 2003 to 2009, he was taking money from a public hospital, not a private. Money that was needed to fund, money that was needed to fund for extras for the hospital and the poor and everything. He was actually siphoning that money off. Okay. So a public small town hospital. Amazing. Okay. There was more, right? That was the entire video.
No.
I just want to make sure you got the right one. Okay.
Well, basically how we did it, which
you can. Well, let me.
I'll break. That's a breakdown. Go ahead.
Okay. So what happened is that his charges, had turned out to be 3 felonies. Okay. And what happened is that the court hearing went on this somewhere around 2011. And what happened is when this all went down in 2012, he fled the country. Okay. So the court hearing was going on. They told him what charges he was going to get. And then what he did is that he was out semi on his own recognizance, white collar crime, a lot of money and all that. He then stole a family member's passport, and the money that he did siphon, he took it on over to Thailand and he left. Okay, mind you, we'll show you some clips where he's telling his own story, telling Paul and the rest of the gang all these lies why he was in Thailand.
Tell you the backstory.
And so after he fled, when he left, he took a family member's passport and everything. Okay, so this new information in the newspaper, I've heard several vloggers cover this today, that it's like some mysterious, like he just got recently actually caught it, in Thailand. No, this is quite some time ago. So it's still the same story. We're talking 2013, around June, he was actually brought back from Thailand. They caught him there. Well, let me tell you who turned him in. Who always turns the guys in?
If you do anything wrong in the Philippines or in Thailand, apparently.
Looks like the girlfriends like to turn
correct.
You in.
They'll turn you in.
Quick. And so the girlfriend turned him in. But not only was she his girlfriend, he also fathered a child. Like in a short period of time, it was like 18 months maybe he was there. He fathered an actual child that he left behind also. All right. So then he was brought back for sentencing in 2014. Okay. And he actually, I can tell you when he was released and probably about when he arrived here. So it looks like, I think they call it turning state evidence. I'm not like a super professional on this. He went against his partner and got some information. He was a snitch. In jail, or in prison, in federal prison, federal. Mm-hmm. And he did some sort of bargain, and he was supposed to do 10 years, and he got out in 17. So he was only in there for 3 years. Okay. Now, mind you, when he was in Thailand, to step back a little bit, he actually was in there for so long. He was in there, I don't know, a while. He had lost a bunch of weight and everything, but he sat in a Thai prison, which is not pretty at all. He said it straightened him up, and he was a newborn, he was newborn, right? And so he got out in 2017 because he turned snitch, which is not a good look, man. Not a good look at all.
Well, basically, he had to, honestly, if they had to let him loose, otherwise he won't make it.
And we're not talking about like this little petty stuff. We're talking about you just don't.
Yeah,
I mean like mafia guys, prison, gangster guys, all of this, they just don't do it. There's guys that'll sit up and do 20 years and never even breathe towards you. And that's one person I can't. A stool pigeon like that directly in prison. We're not talking about this little YouTube bickering that hey, I saw Heidi over there steal a Snickers bar out of 7-Eleven.
No,
there,
we're talking about
hardcore,
stuff, yes.
going to get yourself knocked right upside the head in jail.
Well, here's the thing. Again, we're gonna break it down. Okay, first off, we're not gonna play his whole story. We're gonna play the relevant parts. Actually, part of his story was like, oh, like they knocked off 80% of my sentence, not because I snitch. I'm like,
all right,
really?
Okay, so
really,
all right,
they
so
just did it out of their goodness of their hearts. I'm just saying.
All right, so then I want to ask, the story you have is his explanation after he was exposed, right?
Right. Well,
did you get any?
I have both.
Paul's?
I have both.
All right, so he has where he's telling Paul's story, and then where he explains.
We're gonna pause, and then whoa, hold up. Here's the story.
All right, go ahead and play that. So, Bings, everybody has the basics. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps our channel grow. Wrong one.
No.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah, this is it.
You did the same FBI post, right? Thank you. So it was the FBI, a federal charge.
So, okay, keep in mind, this is not about Paul Old Dog. He just happened to be the interviewer. Just keep in mind that. Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right, so Paul, you were administrator in Bangkok at a hospital.
I was, yeah. I was a president and CEO for 6 years in Thailand. And
okay, what's wrong with the story, Heidi?
That's just a no. He didn't have a work permit. He wasn't.
You're not allowed Thailand.
You're not getting a licensing to practice anything in a hospital like that as an administrator. Nothing. So that was, and I want you guys to see my boy Paul, which I'm very proud of, where his bullshit meter goes off on him. You know, it's like.
Well, here's the thing about Paul. He won't call him out.
But you could see him at some point.
Now, keep in mind, this video is heavily edited because, again, we're not going to show you everything that Paul Cardwell says, but
give you an idea where his character is.
But Paul's like,
and I just want to let you guys that when all this fell through, including Mark Thornton, I guess there was a whole Mark Thornton thing on the side that is involved, and I was going to do Mark's stuff on photo on this because he's kind of involved somewhat in this because they had a long falling out the last couple months where World Zoom was talking about his wife and said that they were all children grabber brides, young bride grabbers over there. And there was some seriousness back and forth. He called him out on his lies and talked about him going to jail, which everybody already called him out at that point. But he was mad at that point because he said he married a child bride. Okay. So there was a falling out with his soon-to-be jailmate because when this all goes down with Every Man Has a Story, he'll be joining him in the same location as soon as he goes to renew his visa, unless he's going to go like Tago and Tago or something.
TNT, which means go illegal immigration.
Yeah, save me a spot too.
All right, so
total. Well, they had the red shirts and the yellow shirts battled in the government, pro monarchy and pro of the king, as I am, and then a group that was pro military and they supported the military junta. Yeah.
This is where the fun begins.
Yes, it is. Yeah, someone came from the Bangkok Post and said, "Hey, you're a foreigner. You run this hospital, and all your executive staff are Americans, and what do you think about the politics of this?" And of course, I was supportive of the king. Mm-hmm. Because I'm supportive of the king. At that point, it was Rama IX, the current king's father, not Rama X. Right, and I'm a backer. I'm a believer. I like him. Jail. I always have. He's passed away several years ago, but he did some great things. And of course, I'm not stupid. Anything that's going to be political, I'm going to be supportive of the king, whether I disagreed or not. And so I did that in the article with the Post.
And after that article came out, what happened to you?
The police came me the very next day and arrested me.
Now, according to him, the reason why he got arrested in Thailand is because he said a political statement.
Mm-hmm.
Did that really happen?
No. Oh, there's other things that he said he was, and he needs to fully apologize to Steve Johnson for saying at some point he was attacking Steve Johnson.
Well, that's eventually in there.
Which is eventually in there because he tried to call him out on stolen valor, which he has done. So this guy is just.
Yeah, we will get to that. It gets better, trust me. And for those of you who don't know the story, or actually, in fact, A lot of you probably forgot of all this stuff that came
Good
out
morning,
of this
Manny.
guy's mouth.
Oh boy.
And put me in prison, put me in jail.
His woman put
How
him
long
in
were you
prison.
in jail?
For me, it lasted about, I think it was 21 days or.
No.
He had to think about that. Think about it. Do you really have to think about, oh, I was there for a couple of weeks? No, you don't have to think about that. You're in, oh, I was there for 21
He was
days.
in there for 8 months, according to Thai prison records. Confirmed today. 8 months.
Yes.
Oh, a couple weeks.
22 days that I was actually in the Thai prison. So it was the immigration prison. Bong Kwong was the separate prison. I was in for saying something against the government and, you know, being boisterous against, not against the king. I was never charged. I was never charged with anything. I was never charged with less
They
than
wanted
death.
to deport you, right?
They wanted to deport me. They did, in fact, deport me. I mean,
Well, who was your cellmate? You were telling me.
Okay, this is proof again. You guys ever sit in a bar? Here's the thing: he's not in a bar. If I was sitting in the bar, I would get the stories.
But he went around telling everybody the same story, along with all these made-up tales. So the only thing that's right is he worked at 2 hospitals that he stole almost $4 million US
Not even in Thailand.
from.
Not even in Thailand.
He took the money he wired to the friend that he ratted out even more and other people in jail. They wired him up allegedly in jail to get more information to let him out 7 years early. Do you realize what he had to do to get out 7 years early?
We're talking about a serious rat.
A serious stool pigeon.
Rat, yes.
I would boil up some water and dip him in it. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of stool pigeon what he would deserve at that point, right? So he did this. So let's step back to say he was out on his own recognizance or some sort of bail, unconfirmed, right? And at this point, he stole the little thief, then stole a family member's. We're to understand it's a brother's passport.
His brother's passport.
And took his passport and ran off to Thailand and just started partying and spending money.
And then
girlfriend, got a woman pregnant, everything else. And we were just watching here's the elephant in the room. And the funny thing is here in the last few months, he actually did a video, 7 reasons expats get arrested.
Why not get a girlfriend? I mean, I already got $4 million essentially. Why not get a girlfriend? Just saying.
I'd have been hitting in bars, man.
Honesty.
I'd have been hitting the bars, smoking it up, hitting the bars. I wouldn't have permanently knocked somebody up.
No, at that point you don't care.
I'd have bought a lot of
you feel you're untouchable.
That's what I'd have bought.
No, right. But again, at that level, you think you're untouchable, and
like
that's what he thinks.
Yeah.
Put you into a cell and you had a cellmate. Who was
yes, if you remember the Merchant of Death, the Nicolas Cage movie, he most recently was given up in an exchange with the Russians and the U.S. for the basketball player. Brittany Griner was traded for him, and he was
roommate.
Yeah, that was my roommate. And
okay, oh, it's backwards. Sorry. Here's the thing. It's a glitch. Okay, here's the thing. You can still read it. 2010 is when they released the Merchant of Death, but he was incarcerated in 2013. Not even this close.
He didn't meet him there. That
not
was not
even close. I mean, think about it. The point is he made up this wild story. Oh yeah, I was in the same cell as Merchant of Death. No, bro. You were incarcerated 3 years after he was released. Not when the time he was incarcerated, the time he was released, and the time when Brittany was released. Like, dude, it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? That the reason why we put that in there is because, again, it's to establish that he's a spinner of tall tales.
Well, should I tell the rest of his spinner of tales that he told the court and everything? Or is him somewhere in the line?
Oh.
The other spinner of tales besides that.
Which one? That's the sad part.
Well, do you have any additional
ones
besides the stolen situation?
Let's finish this and then we'll go from there.
Well, but you're talking about other bold-faced lies, things that he lied about.
Right. Well, the
okay, we'll see. I don't think he does. I think he only said these in courtroom. it was put out to the papers and what it said in court.
And was that gentleman, Victor Bout.
Yeah, and see, he's actually said the name, so there is no doubt who it is. And again, just saying
he didn't.
And the funny thing is, he said after this, Google it, and I'm like, actually, I did, and it doesn't add up.
Was his name B-O-U-T?
So let me go all the way back to the beginning, if you'll.
This is after he got busted.
So after everybody found this out, like I think several months went by. I think we just seen it's been 10 months since 10 or 11 months since things had actually went. It's been a while. So he started talking about the elephant in the room situation, and he didn't address it when he first got back and like when everything was going on, but he finally addressed it after we even had a coverage of this back in the day, because it was just a shock to everybody with some of the things he was saying. And he went from interviewee to interviewee telling the same stories, and nobody was buying his story. And he was calling out a lot of people saying these are true, and it was never true. So
allow me, and I'll be concise and do it quickly. The only thing that's really like hurt my heart in this whole process is that one thing that Steve said in the Philippine show over on
Philippine Info Channel.
I would dip
Steve Johnson,
his head
Philippine Info Channel.
side down.
Great
in
channel.
My coffee.
Steve is
right
a great
now,
guy.
Piping hot, and I would put that pigeon in there like an effing donut right now. Right?
You know what they do with stool pigeons in Egypt? Just saying. You go Google it. Those eyeballs staring at you as you eat them.
Man, there's like a code on the street. I get it. I wish people would live by the code, because half these YouTubers would shut their yaps.
Isn't there an old saying like snitches get swatches or something? Right? Isn't that a cool watch?
Watches.
Snitches get swatches.
Man, this guy was like the scum of the scum. We're talking about, think about being in a small town where there's a hospital that only has so many funds to give a small child a wheelchair, or somebody needs a leg, an artificial leg, or needs extra money for heart surgery. He took those funds, man. He left the town upside down.
Bear in mind, everything we're saying is already proven fact. This is
not made up.
We're just trying to establish his character. Again, I'm sorry if we say he's a stool pigeon or Heidi.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Everything you hear on YouTube lessons learned. Yeah.
Right? Did he do that? Yes, and again, but
that's what you're going to find, because we try before we bring something up, especially lately, and we plan to get even better at it. We make sure we get all the backside, because we've heard several stories today and only one person came close to understanding what happened, and they didn't present. Like, we want everybody to get like the whole picture. And there were so many different things in there that was like actually like unreal. And there was somebody who's like, well, I'm not going to go into details fully about everything like other channels do. Actually, it's kind of necessary.
It is necessary.
Still get into the drama yourself. Several channels say, I don't get into the drama. And then every time something comes up, they're in the drama pointing fingers. And you know what? I really don't care. Right. I'm all up in this drama, and it's what we do.
There's a difference when we say opinion and versus facts. Right now, we're all talking facts because these are done, tried.
Oh, proven. Yeah. Goldfinger would be next.
Again. What?
Nothing. Just mind.
No, we're not going to do Goldfinger. We're going to do Gold Member.
I called him Gold Member. I said his name's not Gold Member. George says no.
It's Gold Member. Come on, ladies. I'm the ladies man.
You're not. I'm gonna put you in my coffee here. Put it in the coffee.
I think his name is Leroy Phelps. I'm Leroy Phelps.
You
ladies man. But anyway,
he really was walking around town like that. By the way, that's how I found him.
Wait, what?
It is. You had all them women around you when we met.
Not like that. I'm just.
Yeah, they were.
I'm just a friendly. Well, I'm just a friendly guy. Period. Doesn't matter.
Chatting it up with the cashier. All these women. Go ahead and grab whatever you want and get your sodas. And
actually, I did take a woman out to date one time, and we sat in a restaurant, and I started naming all the restaurants by name. All the waiters by name, and they're like, "You've been here before?" I said, "No."
Man, he said, "Not Goldfinger too." He makes me laugh. To be honest, we have to get full everything. Somebody else asked us to look somebody else up, but like I said, when we try to present these things, we try to present it like in the expat manner, what not to do, and this and that, and then it came in the realm. I do feel some channels go extremely far on some situations, and some need to go extremely far on, but sometimes it's, you know,
well, sometimes it's lacking. I mean, I'm not picking on anybody, but what I'm saying is like,
it's kind of comical.
go all the way, man. Just saying, go all the way.
All right, come on,
All right.
because
Trace materials where it was like a stolen valor comment. And I have to tell you that that was one person in 2012 that gave an anonymous statement to the Tribune that was doing an investigation saying that I had made a statement that I was a U.S. Navy SEAL. I emphatically deny ever saying.
Au contraire, I have actually newspaper clippings where he said it in
He
court.
said that, and here's the thing.
In court.
In court, right, in court. However,
And witnesses.
now, I'm not going to name the YouTuber that interviewed him, but I clearly, distinctly remember him saying that the YouTuber says, so were you not in the U.S. Navy SEALs? And says, yes, I was a member of the U.S. Navy SEALs.
Did. He definitely
However, unfortunately, that video does not exist on the internet anymore.
And then I found
but
it in the
he did
newspaper.
make that statement on YouTube. Forget what the court says, which again is on record, but he did say on YouTube he was part of the Navy SEALs.
Right, so stolen valor.
Correct.
Guys.
And again,
And
Steve Johnson called him out, and
he got mad at him later and really kicked up a fuss on that one. And several people that worked with him and remembered him clearly, and his own statements. He said that along with other stuff. Yes.
Anything like that. In fact, that's the only time you'll ever see it in the next 13 years. So, so this goes back to my time in Indiana as a hospital CEO, where I actually retired from that position and left and moved.
He retired. Just saying, he retired. He didn't retire. He got caught and then, terminated. He did not retire from that position.
Moved to Thailand, came back and began my job as a hospital CEO in Wyoming. In both cases, I had a dummy company, and I did conspire to commit money laundering, which are one of my two charges, right? Conspiracy to commit.
Want to let you know he was charged with 3 felonies, but I believe it was 12 or 17 counts. I have it up here. It'll be in the listing of wire fraud. So, and it wasn't one company. He created one to send money over to his friend, but he did it to a hospital, and he did it he did it from 2003 to 2009 directly with the hospital. 4.8 million.
Correct. And it's not just 3 felonies. He committed more. However, if you're familiar with the U.S. law,
17.
Yes, they try to do a plea bargain, especially since he's a rat. They were like, okay, well, since you're doing this, we're going to do this for you. Eventually, he ended up with just 3.
Yeah, because it was 2 different things. So from that point, he had stole 1.7 million, a total of 3.8 million. It said then in 2011, he funneled nearly the money that the Philippine government mentions. And I want to let you know that most of the articles all over Asia right now are repeating the same article. Okay. And I do see some people that are making comments about what they feel happened, but we're going to tell you the difference of what the Philippine government's still saying and what's probably actually going on. So there's 2 government actual stories going on. In 2011, he funneled that $848,000, okay, which he spent up in Thailand. But the thing is that he was already convicted for all of those charges, and there are other people that have seen that this has already happened. Okay, so there's a lot going on still.
Yeah.
So
Laundering, wire fraud. Those are my 2 charges. Not taking anyone's passport, not fleeing it.
Wrong.
First, he applied for a passport. However, he got denied. Why was he denied, babe?
Because he's a stool pigeon.
The moment you commit
just kidding.
that particular felony that you
Correct.
committed, you are not
is
allowed to leave.
the country. And so federal charges such as his, regardless if they considered it white collar or whatever, he's under federal charges. Okay. There are so many things. So like when this is totally done, we'll probably all get into a discussion about felons coming in here. We're asked all the time, can I come in? What's the charges? What's going on? And what the Philippines is starting to do. So, but no, he attempted to apply. He was denied, and he did, because he ended up in Thailand. They actually rearrested him in 2013. So he's lying.
Pretending to be his brother.
Look, the FBI wanted poster was during that time. So what does he mean he didn't steal somebody's passport? When you have that big of a charge with that much money you owe and you was on probation, they're not letting you out of the country, man. You got to wait 5 to 10 years for multiple reasons. 5 to 10 years because they usually won't reissue you a passport as a felon, whether it's federal or not. And some airlines will know you're a felon in advance when you travel international, and you could. Now, do people get away with it? Sometimes. But most of the time, some airlines can even ban you international flights.
Correct.
When they find any of this out. Somehow they know now, guys. They do know. And somehow the life has caught up with him.
Right. And the thing is, like I said, it's one thing that I understand he committed this stuff and it's behind him, whatever. However, don't lie about it. And put it on YouTube.
Right. Did you catch the date that he gave his update? Did you look at the date?
Well, let's play this.
I know. I'm just asking you, do you know when this was? It doesn't matter. It's still.
Well, I know the date of his release. I'm not sure which
I'm
date
talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The day that he put this video out. Was this?
This date? No, I don't remember this date.
That's
but
okay. It's
anywhere.
Well, it's 2023.
All right, so it's 10 or 11 months ago. So
right.
Okay.
Although I did go to Thailand and was actually arrested in Thailand, I boarded a plane and came back after I was arrested there, came back to San Francisco and was arrested by the FBI.
That's because they deported him and he's waiting. They were waiting for him.
Yes, he did not go willingly. No.
He actually sat there for 8 months. And the same here. He will probably wait that long or longer. Anybody that gets held in these jails here waiting to be deported, it takes some time.
Right.
So, for sure.
In San Francisco and started that journey. That was on June 6th of 2013.
He said it. He told the truth. He told the truth. He's right. That's when he did come back.
Time of being arrested,
June
right?
2013.
So in June 6th, 2013, I'm arrested on a multiple felony counts. I can't remember how many, but
that's why they multiple, not just 3, multiple.
Well, it was funny because he tried to play that off, but
actually he tried to play it down. Yes, I edited that out because
I mean, here's the thing: if you're already been caught, man, you've already been caught. You might as well come out.
Honestly, I don't see a reason why you put out the video. I mean, it's like kind of not. It's kind of damning and damning at the same time.
I have the records, which you'll see here, that I have the U.S. District Court, Federal District in Wyoming, where they filed the United States District against him. And it shows initially March 15th, 2012 is when the actual indictments actually came against him. But I'm going to get the, hold on, I got him here, guys. Give me a minute. I'm going to tell you how many. I believe it was 17. Hold on.
Right. Chosen One says fugitive YouTuber. When did people start doing that? Exactly. I'm like, seriously, bro? I mean, if you're running and trying to hide from the law,
all right,
why
right
are you
now
YouTuber?
I see currently it appears to be, I believe it's 15 counts of wire fraud, 3 major felonies, and he was staring down the barrel. Penalties for Paul D. Cardwell. Penalties are 20 years in prison, followed with $250,000 in fines, and 3 years. They got like a final on all the charges. Oh, there it is. The final, Here, can you actually see this, George?
No, babe, I have bad eyes.
Okay, so you guys will be able to see it here in a minute. So when they put all the wire frauds together, he was looking at 290 years.
That's it?
Look, 290 years and 3,700,000 in fines by 3 years supervised probation.
3,350,000. That's it. Oh, I have that in my back pocket right now.
You don't even have that in pesos.
Okay,
dude.
now keep in
Maybe
mind the amount. Okay, 3,000,000 and a quarter, 3/4. Okay, not 3,000,000 and a quarter. It's 3,000,000 and
He's a
3/4. Okay, so let's continue.
Yeah, that's the only thing he got right, but he's wrong on the 15 cases. But he was staring down the barrel of 290 years. Man, I'd have took my sister's passport and probably stuffed them all in a suitcase and took it. I mean, gee whiz, he was really in trouble at that point.
All right.
When they first sock it to you, they really sock it to you. There was just a litany of charges that I was looking at that time.
Did I not
That's
just say that, stool pigeon? I'm gonna dunk you in this coffee again, man. He's starting to look like a little Dunkin' Donut. I haven't had sugar in months, man.
Right.
He's starting to look like a wet mop there.
That sentence. So it all comes down on that day, January 27th. I get 121 months in federal prison. Finally, just through the grace of God, I won and was released from federal custody. Now, remember, I got 121 months and I served 2.5. And so I've seen some of these nasty comments that said, oh, he must have ratted somebody.
Okay, he's defending himself as he didn't rat anybody. Now, here's the thing. The odd thing is he says, oh, they don't knock off 80% of your sentence because you ratted somebody. I'm like, actually?
No, the court documents show, okay, I have the indictment, but the other documents had a lot more numbers in there, so I'm not going to show those, but the newspapers and the TV, and he was supposed to do 121 months. That's what he left in an orange suit saying he was sorry that 121 months. They do not drop that off like that for no reason.
Exactly. It must have been some serious stooling there, just saying.
Yep.
Out to get that reduced sentence. Come on, this isn't the movies. That doesn't. Where would I have been as a hospital CEO where I would have been involved in something that would be of value?
Okay, now listen to what you just said. Where would I be as a hospital CEO where I'd be of value when we're talking about $3.75 million? So you really think that?
And he took that other money out with him.
Yeah, so that's not chump change, obviously. We're talking about serious ratting out here,
290 years.
Federal government that they would say, okay, we're going to take away 80% of a sentence. Now, I'm released from prison. I've paid my debt, both in my time served. I've actually paid my debt on the money that I've.
Did you see? I feel like I have to rewind it. He says he paid his debt on time served and money. So obviously this guy has $3.75 million in his pocket. Just saying. No, it's his words, guys. You heard it.
Yeah.
I paid my time served and money.
Well, $1 million. Well, actually, he did, Niche. As allegedly, when he arrived in Thailand, he took part of that money that he wired to his friend. As I'm to understand, that friend was along with him and some other people when they went to Thailand, just buying real estate, doing all these other different things, and he impregnated a woman and left a son behind. I remember when I first seen World Zoom, and I don't know if you guys remember when he came on the scene, he kept telling a story about a woman in Dubai, a police officer.
Oh my God! The police officer.
Does anybody remember the Dubai?
Anybody who watches World Zoom, his stories are kind of like, wait, what?
Yes, that's where he claimed
I was dating the only first female officer in Dubai. I'm like, whoa, this guy's serious. This guy's hardcore.
Right. And then here's the thing: rape out in public. He's running this YouTube channel. And everybody caught him, and it's in the newspapers and the things that he said. I'd go ahead and run the rest of that because I want to say all these other things that he said before we get to what's really going on and what the Philippines
What's really
is up
going
to.
on?
Oh, we know, and a few of them had guessed. I think the rest of the lives and the videos put out, I feel only so many people got what was going on.
Yeah, it's not what
really
you think.
going
It
on.
involves CBD gummies. Just kidding. All right.
I wish.
Right?
You said CBD. What the hell?
What do you mean? That's illegal here. No, I'm not joking. It is. Anyway.
Is it?
CBD, yes. It's still from
Oh, that's
that.
right. Yeah, you
It's
can't
still
use any
from
of it.
cannabis. No.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking of melatonin. So my
Same
mind's
thing
off
in
of
Mexico. It's,
melatonin.
but no.
Sorry, I was thinking melatonin.
Yeah.
Owed back to the hospital in its entirety. That Mark, every man has a story, told you. I still owe the Internal Revenue Service a large sum of money. I may never get that paid back, right? So I served on house arrest until October of 2016, and then I was done. I received my passport in 2017. So, okay, let's flash
I
forward.
missed that. What was that about the 2017 passport?
Oh yeah. Well, he has acquired a passport somehow at 2017. That's what he says.
All right. So here's the weird thing. He was released from prison in 2017, and with those type of federal charges, and he owes IRS, and he still owes. He didn't pay back that money, and his assets weren't seized. He still, at that point, still owed money. And I'm gonna tell you what, it took a lot to release that, but somehow I believe he could have got it when he arrived. Remember, he didn't arrive back in Asia till we seen him on the scene, which was what, 2022, 2023, give or take.
Yeah.
And it appears that he was like back where his mother's house was. He said he was at his mother's house. So my guess is he had to wait that 5-year period at least. But that doesn't mean you're really allowed to travel as that felon now, is it? Onward, James.
Onward we go. All right.
Now it's 2023, right? I've been out of jail since 2016. I've had some.
Incorrect. 2017.
There's release documents, 2007.
Correct.
He can't. He's. Yep.
Right. I mean, again, remember, he's downplaying everything.
He's starting to look like a Dunkin' Donut stick right now.
Right.
That's what's going to happen to him where he is right now.
Good jobs. I worked for the state.
Okay, listen. After he got released from prison in 2017, he got a good job.
Passed those background checks, right?
Passed those background checks.
Amen, brother.
Good for you, man. You passed those background checks. My man.
I worked as a COO.
I worked as a COO. Okay, for those of you who don't know what COO is, he's the next in command after a CEO.
There are people that do 6 months in county jail that have a hard time finding a McDonald's job. Don't give me
dude,
that.
you'd be lucky if you'd be a janitor for a university.
And
okay?
even then, that would be an impossible.
But according to him, he got a job right away after 2017, after he got released as a COO of a university.
I called it narcissism, but you said flat out what he actually does. I'm still tired. We've been covering a lot of stuff. You said it wasn't that. He's just really.
Oh, he's a compulsive liar. Yes.
Well, compulsive. Yeah, there's other words.
He's a compulsive liar. He can't help himself because, again, his own words don't make sense. Even you guys were like, okay, a lot of you guys don't study law. I don't study law. I'm not a lawyer. But everybody knows once you're a felon, odds are you won't be a COO of any company.
I don't know if he's even really got a woman. And I still call him just to irritate the other vloggers.
Be nice. Inflatables have feelings too.
George, you're full of surprises tonight. I wish you was this spunky this morning.
Oh, I'm gonna save you.
I'm gonna take you back to the U.S. Right back. Hey, baby, I'm gonna take you back to the U.S. Stop. Right, and it's like right. This woman's got feelings too. Yeah, like I said, he's somebody else's bitch now.
Inflatables have feelings too. All right. So again, according to him, he got out of prison in 2017, became a COO of a university.
And what we just missed a minute ago? Now you made me forget.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we backtracked exactly to where he stopped.
At a university, I think.
Right now?
COO at a university.
Did a good job there. I was working my way, back up to respectability despite having fallen hard and fast.
Babe.
Okay,
so I can
so that's where I stopped because again, honestly, there's only so much.
So I can join
you can take. And again, you guys
He's
heard
still
it
part of that
from his
Dramageddon
mouth.
group.
Oh, I just got out of prison in 2017. I became a CEO of a university. I passed a background check. Really? Okay.
Anyway, so this guy is full of surprises, and for extra, yeah, he's sitting up there probably with Barry still. That's actually sitting up in that jail. So I want to let you guys know
is. I mean, I'm not
that
picking on Barry,
he
but
told tons of people that he worked with in different places, including the people in court, that he was also a surgeon. Okay, that he was a surgeon.
Oh, it gets better.
That
Gets better.
That worked with NFL Peyton Manning.
Peyton
He was
Manning,
his
he was.
surgeon.
Yep.
He was his personal surgeon. He was a Navy SEAL. People confirmed that at the hospital, and he said it in court. He was a real estate partner and agent of a bunch of properties. And I think that's about what I have on that part of it. But he was a surgeon, and actually was a surgeon at Peyton Manning and knew him and everything.
Yeah, he is. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think he's still single because when he came back here, allegedly, he kind of brushed a bunch of people off, and he nobody really seen him with anybody. Like I said, he left a son and a woman back in Thailand. Who knows what's actually going on with that? But so there we have it. 3 felonies, 10 years. He did, and got released in 2017. So where does that leave him now with his popular YouTube channel?
Where is Paul Caldwell now?
We'll play these other clips that I have. They're just documents that we actually have. It's just showing his FBI when he was wanted, when he actually took off to Thailand. There's his wanted poster that people found. Got to give it a minute here.
Yeah, again, he was on the most wanted list.
Here he is when he was in court. He lost quite a bit of weight. He was even bigger. Here's where a bunch of newspapers covered him, where he was the chief of that big hospital in Wyoming. That's the one that he took a lot more money from. It was a public hospital. And then the other one, he had wired the money directly to the friend that went to jail. Oh, here's his federal records that we actually found. And it said when he was released. He was released in 2017, guys.
Right.
Says it right at the bottom. When did he say he got released? 16?
16.
Lies.
Yeah, he did say
that
16.
Is directly on a federal government site that actually shows federal people and when they were released. Okay, so that's not true either. So here's the thing: passport troubles. Usually when people have federal records and that big of a criminal past with that kind of money, it usually doesn't pass through the FBI. It's 5 to 10 years and some additional documents to get those passports released. My guess is he really had to wait that 5 years, and it got by the system somehow, because when he got in trouble here in the Philippines, okay, he used his real name and passport. You have to. Everybody has to show their passport to get their visas renewed. And they said that he actually went into an office. So getting it with a criminal record would be hard. And a lot of people have to understand, if you have a felony, eventually things will catch up with you here. Okay. And they turn away child diddlers all the time, people that they think
it happens every day.
Hundreds already.
In fact, it happens so regularly we don't tell you guys
this
about
is
it,
why we really didn't cover
thing.
this, because everybody knew that he was already in trouble. This is nothing new. People made it like his arrest was something new and this stuff in.
No, it's not.
So with a little research, like we said, we wanted to put something out, but we,
I mean, and like I said, we weren't going to cover this, but some of you guys again contact us and say, hey, why don't you say something about it? And this is what we're saying.
Yeah, and we wanted to cover it in full. Okay,
correct.
So all right, you can play the next one, because that's
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Right. Blah, blah. Felony convictions. Most airlines with confected and convicted felons, 5 to 10 years, they're on a ban list. Okay, and it's the same with entering countries. A lot of the Asian countries, I think Canada's one of most countries these days. It's changed. Being a felon and entering the countries, you might get away with it once in the past, but eventually they catch you. Okay, so. Well, who didn't hear that? Niche just saying that Mark stole his brother's passport when he fled.
Oh, dang. That's messed up.
I don't think he looks anything. So here's the community just a couple hours ago talking. Can you pause that?
Let's pause right now.
Okay. And here we will get down to the basic theory before we go through and talk to people. As I understand it, if he was convicted and served time in the U.S. for his crime, okay, in this typical
Atrocious.
right
Convoluted
news account, it stated that he's being deported for being a convicted felon. Yeah, don't go anywhere with that, because I want to read what I'm sure you guys have already heard directly what the newspaper said, and every newspaper said the same. What I don't understand is that's the gist that I actually got, is that it was a new charge. And the reason I would say that, okay, is because of what was said by even the government newspaper. So me and George usually play on words. Sometimes we slip up during live streams. Especially it's hard during live streams. To give you an example, so let's see, entering the country, what the government say. All right. There was a lot going on, wasn't there? Let me.
Oh no, there's a lot going on. Unfortunately, it's hard to filter.
Prior to his arrest, the Bureau said the BI tourist visa section found that Caldwell applied online for a visa extension on March 27th. He was arrested on the 4th. So this has already been done a couple days ago. We said that this morning, that we had the basics. We knew this had happened. We had already had our live stream set up. We already prepared videos. We weren't going to change it all of a sudden, because it is what it was on that. It says that the tourist visa section conducted a secondary check after being prompted that he was a convicted U.S. felon. Because of this, the Bureau said its office in Cebu was alerted on the presence of the fugitive in the province. When somebody says the word fugitive, that no longer holds the fact that it was because he was a convicted felon. A fugitive means somebody on the run, correct?
Correct.
So two theories have come up, and me and George kind of have our own. Hit the next one, because these are like people currently in the Expat forum and messages that were actually left and understanding. A bit confused, but it appears that this guy was arrested in Bangkok on the same charges. Correct. It's the same thing. Okay, next one. There should be one more. Okay, that's the district document. So in saying that, we had read off these charges that you guys are going to see, but basically he was looking at a long amount of time and all of that. I myself do not believe the actual newspapers. I think that this is what I think. I think that they're looking at his old charges. Okay. There's only one other possibility in checking the United States and his background. I don't see any felony warrants. I don't see him on the FBI list again. I don't see him, because if he was a fugitive wanted that bad, then they would have actually had a new one out. So his check came up clean. Okay. So now we're back to the point of, are they actually holding him because of his charges, and he just came up and didn't pass a background check, and he's been here several times since. Okay. Well, you know what, Niche, they don't ask if people are a fugitive or not, or if they've ever been. They never ask any of those questions. It's only so many of the passengers do they check when they're coming through. Okay. So if they ask at the airport and then he lied, it may be one thing, but believe it or not, for the most part, they just let people in pretty much. They scan the passport, and if nothing comes up, but they do catch a lot of them. So it depends on what kind of check. It's kind of like entering the US. It depends on, like which airport. It's really easy to get through the Angel City, but they catch them on a daily basis. Like you said, diddlers and felons and everything else. Now, here's the thing we've been telling people is that now with felonies and a better system in place, they're not only catching overstayers quicker here. Okay. Everybody's thinking it's the old Philippines from pre-pandemic. No, they got better at their game. They're catching these guys left and right. So be warned, they're catching these people. And technically, by Filipino law, felons aren't really technically allowed here. With that type of background check, you're not, with that type of background and you in trouble like that, if it falls under the categories of their guidelines, which is almost everything that's felon, then if they find this out, or they usually find out, then you're not allowed in the country. Okay, so we've heard several people say that you're not allowed. Oh, bull crap, I'm in. It's just a matter of being caught. These are usually people that have only been here, for X amount of time. And, a lot of them haven't even done a background check here. They didn't get one when they left. They'll find it.
And
They will find it. They do check when you get your documents, your 13As, your SRRVs. They will check all of that. Okay, so those that are staying long term, you go back in a second or third time. Like I've been here 36 months. They clear me every time. They check every time to make sure they check all these systems. So my guess is that he's actually, I think they're just coming back on the same charges.
Correct. I think he's just undesirable.
Correct.
Persona non grata.
Because there is no outstanding. Now, here's the thing. There is a small chance. I can't see if the IRS wants him and then they're trying to grab him for money. We cannot see if he completed probation because I don't see anything new. No new warrants, no nothing. Okay?
Whoa. He already paid up to $3.75 million.
And his taxes, yeah.
He just said that.
It's because he's a felon would be our guess. None of this in between that there are new charges, because the funny thing is all the newspapers, including the Philippine government, is calling him an actual fugitive. He has the records are showing he was released and he should have been past probation, except for possibly the taxes and possibly
it's very
money.
possible.
But there is no current warrants that can be seen in public. So
in all probability, it's either a failure in restitution or, again, a persona non grata issue, or both. It could be both.
Yep.
Is there more on this one? Because there's more.
You can play it. It's just the actual court records. So it's some of them. It shows where it was filed. In the end, it says how many. Yeah, I know. I guess it shrunk it down. It's wire fraud. And there's his final, 290 years, 3.7, 3 years of supervised probation, which would have took him out to 2020. That's another funny thing, is it would have took him out to 2020, and then he would have had to wait 5 years for that passport, because while you're on probation, he still would have been under the care and needed permission. That's another funny thing, but it does show release 2017.
Correct. And again, like we said, that's why we establish Paul Cardwell's character first, because you have to remember what the type of person you're dealing with. Again, I'm not condemning Paul, but in his own words, he pretty much nailed himself, if that makes any sense. He contradicts his own self. He comes up with these crazy stories. It's like, okay, buddy. And it's not
Overstayers, shout out to Barry and Mandu. He's been in there a while. We didn't know anything about the Barry thing. That's previous stuff. When, like I said, we initially started out by doing Expat help, showing he's still in there.
Yeah, thanks so much, Hurley Wilson. Folks, this is the most comprehensive report for those. Get those likes up. Thank you so much, Hurley. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, normally we wouldn't cover this because it's more.
Gogo, you don't know what's going on. Gogo's in there talking about, I know what really happened.
She's teasing you, Gogo.
I'm just joking.
She's teasing you.
It can't get any more than that, because there is no other situation, but because he's done everything else. And there's no way there's new charges.
Well, not to mention
he was charged for everything.
Correct.
So they can't be charged. You can't
be
reconvicted
for the same crime. Correct.
And they're saying that we verified through Thai records that he was arrested. No, he was arrested a long time ago.
Right.
So it's how you actually read it too. And then, doing the additional research, doing some background checks, and actually going through federal records. I mean, if you take the time, and then it actually comes up. So.
Right. So Paul actually did poop in a hole in prison.
He was there for a little bit.
That's Thai prison, for those of you who know what Thai prison is.
Yeah. Are you at the very top?
Yes.
Good morning. Yeah, I would just address the.
Hey, Tarzan. Good morning. Hey, Kenny
Good
Civic.
morning,
Good
Kenny.
morning. Tarzan. Oh, yeah, it's early there. Yes. And thank you for being with us, Tarzan. Hello, Alex. Nice seeing you again.
Mike says that he must have had a derogatory report and they investigated.
Correct.
It's probably because they found that he had a felony, and they have every right to deny that when they keep looking. That's why we tell people that if you have it, you better check with an attorney and see if you're even allowed, it's even something passable to actually be here, because they will keep checking you.
Correct. and they will. And that's the thing. People think that Philippines is so bad. No, man, we're not that backwater. We have technologies here you've never seen in the West. I've never seen in the West, but they have it.
And they will do the repeated backgrounds.
Michael Lloyd says Paul is a professional con artist. Glad he's gone now. He will do 20 years. Yeah. See, this is what we've been saying. Alex Bam says, how dumb you gotta be to start a YouTube channel if you're wanted by the law?
I don't think he's wanted anymore. He's a felon. And everybody, he went through telling a bunch of stories that didn't match. Then they found out. Here's the thing. There is a small chance that we've been telling you guys as YouTubers, they're watching.
Okay, now
there could be a government official that watched them and then looked them up.
I'm not judgmental of ex-cons again, because I have ex-con friends only because in my job as a manager, I have to deal with ex-cons because, you know, they come to work. I mean, they're normal people. They're people. However, the issue is again, he hasn't stopped technically. What I'm saying is he keeps lying, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we just debunked a bunch of
Correct.
stuff
We debunked in his own words, actually, it goes against what he says.
We can show the release date from federal prison. But the point is that he's in a country where felonies are not accepted.
Correct.
Very few are accepted. I mean, it has to be something like very insignificant, and there's no such thing as an insignificant felony.
And he admitted it on YouTube. Not just did he do it, he admitted on YouTube. Now, again, to some of you, like, well, at least he admitted. Yes, however, it's still admittance of guilt, and you're on. I mean, all the NBI has to do. Paul Cardwell.
No, they do that every time they do it.
You're there already.
Right. So visa clearances, when you do them, whether it's every 6 months, and he might have been doing a 6-month visa at a time. Every 6 months or every 2 months, they'll do a check. And eventually you're going to get hit on that. And he's like on a small time frame. He just got back here again. So he's re-entered the country. I believe this is his second round since all this happened. And it looks like they got him.
Right.
So I don't believe there's any new charges. There's nothing showing new charges. So if somebody's got information, we always say that we're open.
Correct.
You know, people send us emails.
Let us know. Actually,
you'd be surprised how many tips we get a day from people about different situations that are going on. It's, you know, like I said, we just, you know, it's just.
Yeah, Luminar says, great information, Heidi. Chosen. Oh, thank you so much, Chosen One.
Thanks,
there it is. Talking about Thailand. Here's Chosen One.
Yes.
Currently in Thailand, because Chosen One is a world traveler. We never know where he lands.
Good morning, Donnie. Andy was saying further down, regular guy reminds me of an ex-con. He already said that he's got a shady background. He said that. Did you see his last live stream before he took it down?
That's another thing I was going to get at. Yes. Now, first off, nobody's perfect. Everybody has done wrong.
And actually, we were, nobody's got a clear background. I agree with him on that part. But again, he said that we're all teenagers. Things have happened in the past.
There's a difference
this
between.
Like literally just happened in the last.
Well,
he's not even 5 years. He wasn't even 5 years outside.
It's the magnitude of the crime. What I'm saying is, for example, just an example. Let's say you stole a beer keg out of a store, or stole a bottle of Hennessy out of a store as a teenager, or a young adult, like you just turned 18,
or what I would call a victimless crime, or something semi.
You stole that, and then you started YouTube channel. Okay, I get it. Nobody will ever remember.
Let's say you took over 3 semi trucks full of Hennessy or something.
Well, that's basically what he did. It's $3.75 million. That's the point.
Right, but he took it from people that needed surgeries and everything else. I mean, you're taking somebody's Hennessy. You might scare the shit out of the truck driver. You're taking somebody's
life, literally.
But Hennessy's not going to miss that kind of money like these hospitals.
That's what I'm getting at. It's.
And then he wired out a bunch of money into. He created a whole. They said he was
money
good.
Needed to stay alive, not just money.
Regular guy's a diaper sniper. Yeah, and I don't think he cares about that. Oh, and he admitted a bunch of other stuff about his taxes in Thailand.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about.
Or not Thailand, but over in Korea. So like I said, I don't know if you got that or not, Andy, his video today.
Correct.
Actually, we were going to cover that. We were more focused on that than Andy Omar, his admittance to owing taxes and stuff. You want to keep it on the pipe down? Oh, did I say Andy?
Yeah, it's not him. We're not talking about Andy.
Sorry, I'm trying to talk to Andy Omar. I'm saying,
right.
That? Sorry. Guys, understand that in the last 3 days, I've been gathering information and doing some taxes, and I've been kind of busy. So in the last 3 days, I've had like 8 hours sleep. So like today, me and George was laughing because
it's that time of year.
Stop.
What?
Oh, is it planting time? What are
Yes.
you talking about?
I'm doing Tears for Fear, sowing the seeds
No.
of life.
So I'm on limited sleep. Like today, I mentioned something about, and I'm glad somebody said something. I said that we were going to go. It's my 36-month run here in a couple months, and I said that we were going out of the country. And I think at that point, I think I remember saying, George, which country are we going to? And I meant to say that it was Taiwan, but I said Taipei instead. And then I said, we're going to the country of Taipei. But what I meant was Taiwan, but the area of Taipei.
Well,
and so
I
I'm
don't think
tired.
you said country. I think you just said we're going to.
I think I said we're going out of the country. And then I said we're going to Taipei and then something else.
But is that a thing, apparently, that stealing your brother's passport?
I think it's a joke. I don't think he looks anything like his brother.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, Paul got away with it, so maybe it might be a real thing.
Are we going to open up the chat room?
Bishop says if he has valid tourist visa and has no pending charges in another country and committed no new crimes in the Philippines, is it fair to deport him because he applied for permanent visa?
Well, here's the thing. There are two stories in there right now. They're saying he applied for permanent residency, but their government site, it keeps repeating. The Philippines keeps repeating he was just going for a tourist visa. He was inquiring about a permanent, maybe an SRV, maybe he's got a new girlfriend he plans to marry, and he was checking into all the above. But yeah, based on his new request to renew his visa, they have every right. They run you through every time.
Right. And that's
so that would be grounds
to
find his felony. Here's another thing. I will tell you guys that when you're a YouTuber and you got lovers and haters out there, they start reporting. So let's just give an example that his Dramageddon group that he went back and forth and said everybody had child brides. Any of them could have reported him direct to immigration and said he was a felon, and that could have sent him off too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anybody could have reported anybody he ticked off.
They were going to run him anyways, but it could have been an extra tip off.
Right, and like I said, he admitted to most of his
And
guilt
it's up
on
to
YouTube.
immigration to determine what other issues are going on.
Right.
And the fact he sat in a Thai prison just didn't make him happy at all. So it's just another Asian country that he spent 8 months and was arrested. They probably won't even try to find out what that on top of was for. And it was for the same charge, but they're only going to see on their records in their computers and look no further that he spent 8 months in a Thai prison.
Correct, and that's enough for them to say no.
Yes, he was in, which he had brought on himself.
Right, like Mike.
No,
Dowdy
it's
says,
not fair. Yeah, it's. I get it.
You have to get an NBA credits. They run your name worldwide and say something came back. And as Abundance Heidi says, maybe it's not fair, but it is the law.
Yeah,
what he's saying is, you know, fair or not fair, they do it, and if you come out positive, sorry, you have to go. You know, that kind of deal.
Yep.
Someone says Paul's a runner.
Yeah, they do me every 2 months, and
they do you, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
and
I've been through 2 NBI checks, so and I will probably have to have a third one. So, just for immigration.
Go says, I like this guy. He's just like Leonardo in the movie Catch Me If You Can. Good movie.
Well, like I said, he's got a son over in Thailand, and by the way, he has a family in the U.S. too.
Yes.
I mean, and he told them at work when he started going back and forth that he had a sick wife, and we'd never even found out if any of that was true. He had a wife, and there was a story about her having cancer and a bunch of other side stuff, guys. It just never ends with him. But the fact he told people he was a surgeon, and you could just see Paul if you watch that entire video. By the way, every man has a story. Mark Thornton at some point turned off the video, and then when he got mad at him, he turned it back on. Yeah. Just like he's doing again and changing titles. Yes. So yeah, but you know, somebody said the truth, and I'm sure this will happen. I feel that he'll get out of here in a year after sitting around in jail, and he'll be deported back to the US eventually, because it takes a while here. There's no quick due process here. So it'll actually happen, but he'll just get there. And somebody says he'll just continue his YouTube channel at his mom's house. We heard several of these emails. There's like, he's just going to go back to the U.S. and start his YouTube channel. He said, yeah, we're pretty sure he will.
He
but
will.
he hasn't
be back.
posted nothing in 5 days.
Actually, that's surprising because, like Scott says,
and he'll tell people, and people will buy that stuff. Eventually, it's like anybody.
They want to hear his story.
We were talking about the simping channels and the difference between the scamming Filipina, situations going on and this and that. And guys are like, well, eventually they'll leave and they'll stop sending money. And I'm like, there's a sucker born every minute,
day,
like at these bars and other places all over the world. One group will move out and the next ones will move in, because kind of like an ex-wife or an ex-husband, you're like, well, nobody will ever date them. And then you hear 6 years down the road, they're like, so-and-so got married. And he's like, what kind of fool would have done that? It's the same thing. He'll get out. Yeah. What a dumbass, And it's like, you guys have had them exes, like, who would have dated her? Or who would have done that? And it's like, okay. But that's where it is. And my guess is he'll finally get back and then he'll just continue his channel for extra
just look
money.
What
and
dated
people
me,
will take
just saying.
What you talking about, Willis?
But no, I'm actually shocked that he hasn't made a video in jail like Barry did, or does.
Well, that wasn't really Barry. Somebody went over there with the cameras, but then they released
nobody
it.
has come over to him. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I mean, he cut everybody off there in Dramageddon and moved off with Cebu and said going back over there. It was like really
yes, a particular vlogger said that he tried to connect with him, but Paul didn't want to. And this guy is one of his supporters, and somehow he just turned him down. I'm like, dude, you don't have a lot of supporters.
I think strictly it's the background. And I think one person said that today, and that was Mike's Philippine journey, as he built it up to say he was, that he was there. And he said, warning that you guys should know that they will catch felons. And we've been saying that.
Right. And Eastern Dreamer says, I support whatever decision the NBI makes. They are in charge until Cardwell is in custody of U.S. law enforcement officials.
I become his buddy there because they have different areas, but right now they seem to have, the last I seen, Barry has his own little separate section that he can walk in and out of with no bars. And, I'm pretty sure they know he's not going to run away, but that's probably the area they'll put him in, but maybe not. He may be stuff like a range guy.
Well, in all fairness,
40 people where there's only supposed to be 15.
Yeah, in all fairness,
nobody be fanning. Man, nobody's going to be fanning Go Cardwell over there.
No, nobody is. Chosen one. Okay, now remember, there is a possibility that he has been caught in a particular crime, and then they eventually found out because they go through the audits and everything, like, oh crap, we missed a crime.
No, it's the U.S. It said
no. I know
US
that. I know that. But what I'm saying is,
he is a U.S. fugitive.
That there's something that they missed, and then they can go after him for that. They can't retry him.
It's possible,
for
but the reason
crime,
they said they're still calling him a fugitive. Now there is a third possibility. There's a possibility, and this does happen, that it's the same crime, and he has done his time. And now his butt went all the way back up in the U.S. just to find out that they shouldn't have done it. But it was up to the Philippines they'll never accept it and let him back in anyways. They'll just be like, yeah, you're a felon. But they caught it and feel they could be reading old documents or something. Who knows? Anything's a possibility. That is another possibility.
Right.
Somebody said that.
Yeah, and Eddie says if you have felonies, they'll find it. They'll find it and you'll get out, especially if you give them grounds. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
See, that's okay. Now, Peter, I'm just saying, yes. Let's be honest. A PNP or NBI check is a pay for a test. There's no real check.
No, actually, there is. Nope, there is. Yep. Believe me, there is.
They do catch a lot of people. I mean, on a daily basis. Yes. They do deport people.
Yes, and they actually work with other countries and everything. And I wouldn't say no, because the first NBI check that I did, there was somebody with my full and middle name, and my middle name is not very super common. And they stopped. What was the area they thought I was from? When they ran my first NBI.
Oh, okay. No.
And they thought I was a
first off, they weren't talking about Heidi. It's weird. It's not even the same name. It's weird. And then they said, okay, we're about an hour and a half or 2 hours away from Pangasinan. Okay, it's one of the
not the same birthday,
it's
not the
it's a
same
beach
nationality,
area,
nothing, and they still thought I was
right,
her.
not even the same name, and they're like, were you in Pangasinan on this date, and we're like,
yeah, I mean, it said everything, not the same birthday, and they still questioned
yeah,
it. It
we
came
were
up,
in
my name came
quarantine.
up with the hit, right?
Yeah, we were in quarantine here,
and so they still wouldn't buy quarantine papers.
but the point is, they did check.
Oh, they do.
And
We know
again,
people that have been nabbed. So
but it's
I
weird.
wouldn't call that. And people think they can buy. Now, can you pay a person on the side to get you that document and pass? Anything's possible in any country.
Right. Right. Oh, this one?
Yeah, Philippines will gaslight you, huh? They see felonies and you are in easy arrest. Arresting officers will get you on an old charge. I know people who got deported on old charges. Yeah, they serve. It's a possibility. That's what we said. The last possibility would be that it's actually the same charges. Is that basically what he was saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaky Reeky. Yeah.
Baby shark,
Teflon,
baby shark.
freaky.
All right. Oh, Barry will stay another 2 to 3 years.
Anything's possible.
Right. Oh, Mike Dowdy says he's been caught stealing since when he was 5.
They say he's a smooth criminal.
Well, actually, most common are actually very smooth. They're very smooth. I'm just saying. Alex says you're 100% correct, Heidi.
Let me do.
Steve says he applied for a visa extension, got arrested, detained, and is being processed for deportation. If there are any astounding offenses or matters elsewhere, they will be reported on. Oh, Michael, you don't know who Barry J is? Never heard of him?
We kind of don't either, except for we know that he threatened some bar people. We don't have the full story, nor do I have the strength to go through that. All I know is he seemed to be a total hothead every time he's been in something, but I don't know who started what and what. We just know, I know that I will be here for 3 years shortly, and I heard about him when we entered the country. I knew that he ended up in jail, threatening and pulled a knife on a bar girl, or somebody at a bar at one point. Remember, he was that guy, wasn't he? Wasn't he the one that grabbed onto somebody? But I guess he's been fighting with other expats. I'm not even. That's something on another day, people.
Right.
It's and honestly, being that so old, we have been accused of covering something and covering it and covering it and covering it. And we really don't. We cover it a few times. If it comes back around like this one, we'll cover it. If it's still like we're telling you, if you got a felony, you can kind of forget it. I would check with an attorney, or probably not attempt it as a retirement. That would be our advice on this situation. And being he's a YouTuber and an expat, but eventually it's just time, on some things that, you close down the cases, and Barry would be one of them. That's been going on forever.
Right.
And I mean, I guess there's a lesson to just behave and everything. I'm going to open up the room for a little bit if somebody wants to come on and discuss this. And it's that way. There we go.
Just Fact says, gotta get a pool going on when regular guy gets busted. Oh, damn.
Well, I think it will be. He just went home. Somebody seems to think that he's waiting on a parent to pass away for a larger inheritance. And some of them say he's still teaching and not paying taxes. He just admitted that he's not. There's all kinds of things going on. I myself, I don't know. I think he's entertaining, but the way that he's creeping on girls is kind of, it's like a, how they've got the thirst trap channels. He's got this weird opposite. It's like he's the thirsty one chasing the girls around town.
That's probably the best way to describe it.
He's thirsty at the same time as he's a simp, but he just ain't got the guts for anything.
Yeah, they're kind of like,
and I don't know, again, Andy, did you see where he tried to call you out in the live stream? So I'm just bringing this up because you was in the room, and he actually said that you blocked him, so he never got a chance to defend himself. And I'm like, that ain't true. We asked you to come in our room, and you ain't gonna come on and talk to us. So I don't think that's true. I think he's just saying that. But yeah, he will eventually become focused on, because we're going to tell you, do not do what he's doing and go around being a YouTuber and talk about you owe Korea a bunch of money. golly. He just said that in a live stream. It's like, have another glass of wine there, old Scotty boy.
There you go. Gogo Bobo says, I like this guy. A surgeon, a Navy SEAL, and a university teacher.
And then he tried to call somebody
I bet
out
he
on that. The
flies American
stolen
Airlines.
valor. He's just about.
Oh, guys, straight from prison. Welcome, Paul Caldwell. Here's Paul Caldwell.
Hey, tell us what's going down over there in the jail.
All right, Paul, how's it there in jail, in prison?
Hey,
Well,
is he crying like a bitch?
Guys, it's Michael Johnson, the
Hey,
author of
Micah.
our music.
Yes, we love that song. You got that song stuck in my head there, man.
oh wow, awesome.
Now I need a country song. I've been everywhere, man, looking for some plans. I am sitting in jail, man. That's where George is going to.
We can do it, but just no copyright infringement. So
Gotcha.
yeah, give me some word ideas, and then we'll use.
Gotcha. Yeah, now I got the ideal. So, what do you think is the real deal on Mr. Caldwell's arrest? Because the government papers are saying one thing, but everything that could be scrapped together, including a background of federal and local, it's not coming up that he's wanted again. So I would tend to believe that they're going after the felony, and he just got caught on that.
Yeah, I think maybe the government here in the Philippines was a little slow to get the fact or the information that he was a felon. So
maybe the old charges and that he was still a fugitive, which was only released in 2017. That was our third possibility. Yes, that's the last one we mentioned.
So I thought maybe, or I think maybe, probably a delay in information transfer between the countries.
Right. But either way, they'll never admit it. He's still out of here. He's probably not allowed.
He's gone.
That'll be it at that point. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure that'll become what'll actually happen for sure.
We don't want no ne'er-do-wells.
and then all the different stuff, as far as, him being a surgeon, him taking that money. And then it was weird because he told the stories, caught in it, and then he told it again, saying, here I am to talk. I think he did that to draw out the YouTube stuff. And then he retold it again. And once again, here it is. Now I've officially got, this is the first time I didn't go and look for his, where he was released from federal prison and all that. It shows a clear date. And I was like, geez, he was released on 17. There's no going back on that one. When they released you, they released you. So
no, he's the clear definition of a narcissist.
Well, there's
CEO,
another one. Yeah.
CEO, then COO, a Navy SEAL, and what else has he been?
A surgeon for Peyton Manning, NFL. He worked with the NFL too.
How do you do? I mean, I'm in my 50s, and to be able to do all those things, you know how many years of school it takes to become a surgeon, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Probably 8 to 10 years.
Or more than that, yeah.
Right.
Or more.
It's actually more depending the specialty and the residency, and there's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a narcissist, a complete liar.
Yeah. He believes in himself way too much, and he was in some sort of fantasy and everything.
Yeah, he's a compulsive liar. He's really good at weaving stories,
which made him good at getting all that money. So I can only imagine the poor girl, like I said, that he's the father of a son over there in Thailand, and he's got a baby and everything, and that's what's really sad.
Right.
That is sad. Well, he should have hooked up with Mark Thornton and got that cruise boat.
Speaking of Mark Thornton, they should be a cage match. Mark Thornton versus Paul Caldwell.
I was going to say
pay-per-view.
Let's
get ready to rumble.
There's a good possibility, because here's the thing: Barry is still in jail, and at this rate, whenever his 13A comes up, the temporary, he's got to renew it, or he's got to take off, and eventually they will catch him, and then he's going to end up in that exact same area. So then it's just going to be those two there together. And I would love to be a fly on the wall when he's just sucking up. Can I borrow that soap? Go ahead. Hook it up, pretty boy.
Who's going to be on top? Just asking.
Yeah.
What?
Catch her a pitcher. The same. What?
You guys are just
I-
weird.
What? They might love baseball. I don't know.
Sicko. Yeah, I can't right now. What about the Beanie Babies?
Right, the Beanie Babies.
Mark is delusional.
Oh,
a
crap.
narcissist.
Mike says
Narcissistic. He isn't right. When a guy says he is from somewhere, Mark says he lived there too. A one-up guy. Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Mark's lived everywhere. I mean, no offense to the guy, but he's lived everywhere. Yeah. There's not a place he's been. And like Mike Dowdy says, Barry J can be the guest referee with Mark versus Paul. That would be very interesting.
I tell you what, I should just go commit a crime just to go join and watch, man, and get some content.
Oh, dang!
I'll tell you what. I'll just slap George and go down for a little bit.
That might be the movie right there. Brokeback Cell. There you go. Brokeback Cell. The
You ain't
story
right,
of
Hurley. You ain't
Mark
right.
Thurden and Paul Caldwell.
Hey,
Brokeback Cell.
hey, Andy, I'll slap George. You slap me, and then we'll both be there to get some good content.
In a world where two expats wait to be deported. Coming soon, Brokeback Cell. Oh my god. You guys, I love you guys. You guys are. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Mark Goldberg in the house.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark. It's hilarious. No, and that's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. In all fairness, again, has he technically paid his dues? To our knowledge, yes. And should he be repeatedly punished? No,
And,
he
and
shouldn't.
I will say that. Here's the thing.
He shouldn't
We've
be
said that
repeatedly
before.
punished.
When this came out, we covered it. What's his name had to say about the child bride thing? A bunch of vloggers dropped his stuff. He never lost any stride with his viewers. As a matter of fact, it went up, and it makes sense. And he continued to put content out. Good for him. And I said that too. If you've done the crime and then you do the time and time has passed and then you show that you've changed in society, it's different. Now, here's the difference. He came here, okay, and we don't have any proof whether he took care of that child, didn't take care of the child, whether he visits a child, but he continued to have narcissistic tendencies and tell these different stories and went on to tell expat communities that this didn't happen, that happened, then he continued to lie. And then when he had a final chance to tell everything, he continued to lie. And that's where a lot of the expats actually kind of part ways. I do believe in the time and the crime, and most of us do have things that have happened in the past. I don't think anybody's, disputing that we've all, especially in our 40s,
Everybody's
50s,
done
and
something
60s.
wrong at one point in time.
Well, yes. And that, it depends on how you go about talking about it and all of that, and how the YouTubers, because once you get up that chain, you got everybody watching, okay? And I think he's at, I want to say he's 14,000 subscribers. The higher up we get things like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We know where you live. And it's like, please do. It's like we really don't have that kind of problem because I know I've got to pass. George knows he's got to pass. But these are things that are far past. You shady as hell over there.
It's not like that.
No, but what I'm saying is, like regular guy said, he knew he was a hellion as a teenager and this and that. But it's like, unless it's something, like I said, that's serious, that is still going on as of last week, 2 weeks ago, you're drinking and driving and ran somebody over last week, or you're out there dealing to kids, or something really funky that's really affecting the entire community, or you're that diddler situation, or you're doing a lot of bad crimes currently, I really don't see the effect on the actual YouTubing. No. But to continue to lie to the community after you had a chance, and that it's,
Again, I had ex-cons under my charge, and honestly, they were really good friends of mine. Because they're real people, and they accepted what they did. They paid for the price and everything. And they're real people, meaning they are what they are. And like again, I'm not condoning any crime.
And I think even real quick, I think even Paul said he has a couple sons, or at least one son that's in jail, and he talks about he visits him and everything. And at first, people are like, oh my, his kids are drug addicts and this and that. I said, at least he owns it and stuff. He's a real person and a real
real
family.
person and admits
It's
it.
like I think every family has those black sheeps where something's happened and different things are going on in their families.
people
And
have
there's
done
a
wrong
big
before.
history. Nobody's backyard is clean, but some of the trolls and sock puppet accounts that go through and tear these people up is really unreal. And it's how they actually handle it and deal with it. I mean, they do it to the female vloggers that are Filipino. They do it to the male vloggers that are expats here. Nobody's untouched in the social media world, including celebrities. It's torn them down in so many words. It still affects, and there's only so much that some of them can actually deal with. But it's how you deal with it and what you actually come up with. Everybody's got a pass, so that part I do get.
Right. And Mark Goldberg says Cardwell continues to grift to this day with stolen valor and mountain of lies. Correct.
And that is bad.
And that's the thing. He hasn't stopped that. And here's the thing. He's not going to change. Nor I don't expect him to change. He's going to be what he is, and he's going to tell tales. Because you guys have met people like this, not necessarily con men, but there are some people who can't help themselves.
There's something
they just want to give a big story.
There's something that is psychologically broke him down.
Right.
My guess is maybe, and it's not an excuse. We were discussing about being poor, homeless, all these things that would change you to make you do these things. And it may not even be what everybody's thinking. Maybe he was diddled as a kid. Maybe he came from a super poor family and never wants to see anybody hurt. Maybe he was giving all of his family members money to get by. And I mean, I'm not saying that's how it went, but what I'm saying is there's always something actually going on. So until you walk a mile in that person's shoes, then you
can't really know. You don't know. And again, I've never walked in his shoes ever, nor did I have the opportunity, nor did I want to be in that position. I'm just letting you know again, just to humanize him, Paul. Again, just to give you guys an understanding.
I would still dip him in
somewhat similar, but really bad. I had an employee because I was a plant manager, and I had an employee. He was an ex-con. It's one of those programs where you take in ex-cons and then try to rehabilitate them. And it's funny. This guy was in, and he had, of course, he was incarcerated for drugs and ex-naying his boss. No, really. It's kind of funny. It's like, here, George, here's this guy. He, ex-nayed his boss. You take care of him, train him. I said, okay. So I was his boss. However, here's the thing. And again, I'm not condoning crime, but the way he talked to me, he volunteered again. He said, hey, George, I did it because, remember, I didn't ask him, but he volunteered the information. He says, George, think about it this way. I went to prison for 5 years, he says, right? Now, in those 5 years, do you think you can make $1 million in those 5 years? That's what he told me. And that's why he said he did what he did. And then you think about it, like, damn, he's right.
Well, I mean, I get it too.
Right. I mean, he's in it's kind of like New Jack City. He was in a bad situation. He made the best of it. It's the wrong choice. But, it's just one of those things where people get tempted. And I mean, it's an easy temptation.
Gogo, are you talking about Paul, Old Dog New Tricks? I mean, I do like him because I think Gogo just said, Heidi, I think Paul is your favorite YouTube vloggers. I think with him, he's got that car salesman thing that's pretty smoothed over, and he's only gotten better at his craft. I think his interviews are okay. I mean, I seem to think so. I mean, I like to pick at him every now and then about some things, but there's not one vlogger that I think agrees with every single, thing. There are times where, like I said, we don't agree with Sunshine or with even like we mentioned.
Right. Well, nobody agrees with everybody 100%.
Right. And that's what things are about, is about being able to talk about it. Like we said, that's why we've officially opened these panels up a few months ago, because it does actually give a chance on there.
What's real? We're talking about real. And Illuminar says, any guy who adds Rooney. Oh my gosh, Rooney to every word is definitely guilty of something.
Right, but it kind of grew on people. And I thought it was kind of weird how he did his stuff in the beginning. He got people's attention. He's good at his marketing. But soon as he started focusing the cameras all the time on the girls, and the total turn off for me recently was the Muslim girl. And I'm sorry, that was just really weird that he actually mentioned her big breasts. Then he went through all of that. And I just thought that was stupid, man, on so many levels. And yeah, so that's where I was on that one. I mean,
yeah, regular
and
guy
he was,
again.
we did send him an email and a message about if he wanted to talk
He
to
is
us about
welcome
it
to
on the
come
side,
to
but
our room.
he
Yes,
claims that he would size up with people, but he never will. So
yeah. Mark says Cardwell is unrepentant, has shown no remorse, and has continued lying to the entire community. He was released early for snitching on his cellmate and testifying against it. Very true. Very true.
and it doesn't have to be on the live stream. We've told people that these live streams do not have to actually be aired. So basically, we can do a Zoom call, and we did that. We just had that recent one where we got to talk to Dexter, a very down to earth situation talk with Dexter, and that was amazing. And right now, like I said, I'm Team Dexter at this point because everything that
you have that picture? We never showed people.
we did.
We did.
Yeah, we put it into the camera showing we did, and we sent it to our
Oh,
moderators.
yeah, in community or something.
Yeah. Well, no, not in community. I told them I wouldn't post it,
Oh, it
but
was
we
direct.
put it up really
direct
quick,
to people. Yeah.
and then we sent it to certain people,
Yeah,
to our
we
moderators.
did.
So
Heidi
they knew we
did talk to
did,
Dexter
but
while I was asleep.
he's
They were probably
really-
planning something. I don't know.
Yeah, you got that right. Oh my God, what about the mic thing? That was hilarious.
Which mic?
MYK.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, really nice guy.
Oh my gosh, the mic thing.
We had somebody that sent us a message, and we know, again, once again, sock puppet troll or something. They had warned George to watch out for me because I really agree with MYK on everything.
MYK and Heidi
that I got
are having an
hots
affair.
for, right?
Just saying.
And I'm like, okay, it's a YouTube job. We've met with him several times, and he's really a nice person.
He is.
We talked about vloggers. A lot of it is entertainment and a persona. Everybody who's met us have said you guys are that talkative, that crazy, that funny in person. I mean,
Yeah, and Mark Goldberg.
I'm like any moody Karen at any time.
Right.
So
Mark Goldberg says, George and Heidi, you worked your asses off your entire lives for your money. You didn't steal it from. You see, here's the thing, and I said this earlier today or yesterday for some of you guys. You didn't steal it from a program designed to give surgeries to indigent children, and that's
it
where
wasn't
the
a
money
victimless
came from.
crime. Like if I was a 420 dealer and went to jail or prison for 10 years, it's somewhat a victimless crime. I mean, I get somebody might get the munchies and eat 4 dozens of Dunkin' Donuts and they gain 200 pounds. Okay, so then maybe that would be my fault or something. But besides that, it's not something like that. I mean, some crimes are just.
You guys are hilarious. I swear to God. Mark snitched out Paul to immigration.
It's a possibility.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a possibility.
We said that. That's the funny thing is there was even when we talked about Mark the last time, we were actually saying that it's a possibility that somebody in his wife's family or down that line might have actually turned him in because they're actually looking to move forward. So a case was filed. There's definitely a blotter and court documents, and this is all moving forward. There's major attorneys involved. Immigration is involved. It's over. And when we called out that range 999 and that American in Cebu, we had all that too.
We try to be comprehensive as much as possible. And actually,
as much as possible.
talking about comprehensive, Michael, here's Rick Merriman.
He's going down. So it was said that allegedly, possibly, it could, and it can be. I'm going to tell you right now, when a lot of these expats have gone down, as much as you guys talk about, the Filipinas and, the percentage, a woman is a woman scorned anywhere, guys. And I'm telling you what, a Filipina has no problem turning you in.
I know, they'll turn you in.
Who do you think turned in that guy in Cebu when he had a house full of 420? It was his old lady that turned him in.
Oh, that's right. Remember the older gentleman with 420 plants?
He's in jail too. Oh man, yeah, they had some guy in Cebu. God, how long's that been? A couple months? But
yeah, it's only been a couple months.
Might
3 months,
have been
about 3
before
months.
Christmas. Either way, the guy was growing it. He had like
in a condo.
In a condo, he was smoking and growing, and he bought the equipment online and had these little booths growing it. But he was also giving it to expat friends.
Yeah, he's gonna be a lifer, unfortunately.
And I guess his wife or something, it was her that turned him in.
Yes.
And he went down for it, and everybody's like, "Man, why didn't you just go to Thailand?" But you can't involve them. She had friends. Anybody can turn you in at that point, man. It's like,
right. I mean, Philippines is really hardcore when it comes to crime. I know a lot of people don't think that. For instance, they actually seize a shipment of, legal leaf flavored vape. It's not even real. It's just the flavor,
and they still went
and
down
they
for the
seized it.
flavor.
Yes. But Rick Merriman, again, he's answering your question there, Michael. He says, I'm an anesthesiologist, undergrad for 4 years, medical school 4 years, 1 year intern, 5 to 6 years medical
Yeah, it's a
residency.
while. Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew it was more than
Yeah.
what you said. So yeah, it depends on, and then yep.
Yeah, no, again, and then he's saying that he did all of this again.
It's long.
Is it possible? Yes, but unlikely.
No, he didn't. Babe, in the newspapers in court, that was already debunked. They said he
No.
lied.
I know, but what I'm saying is
Time frame.
Time frame wise, is it possible? Yes, but did he do it? No.
Yeah.
But
Right.
to be in the military and all the training to be a Navy SEAL,
Right.
how many years? How many years there?
Mhm.
And then to be the CEO of a company for how many years? A different CEO in another country, a COO in another.
Right, exactly.
Put Gogo's question.
And then
I'll
also
answer that.
have the time and
And we'll give George won't answer that, but I will. Let's see.
Okay,
It's-
Gogo.
it's-
Yeah. No, I mean it's
God,
too.
that's pretty rough.
It's too
highly
crazy. like,
unlikely.
again.
Highly unlikely.
Yes, unlikely.
Oh, who I'd sleep with?
Speaking of
Hell
unlikely,
yeah.
Gogo Bobo wants to know,
Oh.
Heidi, which YouTube vlogger would you sleep with if you had a hall pass?
Honestly, the P.
Dang, I had the same answer.
That's probably true. What did I say? Be honest. I've never swung on that vine before, except for once when I kissed a girl. And
Yeah.
I've kissed him once. That was a long time ago, right? But I said, what did I say? I said, if it came down to dating another Western guy, sorry, fellas, I said that I would date a Filipina.
Yes.
So I did say
again,
that.
with,
and I'm
with
not
all
even,
due
that's not
respect,
even
again,
my-
Filipino Pete. Oh, I was just sign language. It's high in Filipino. Yes, definitely.
You know, you ain't got it in you. That's for sure.
Oh, dang.
Even if the front door was open and your car was gassed up and you were gassed up,
no,
still
true
wouldn't.
story.
George would be like,
I wouldn't.
"Can we just do a movie night and pop some popcorn?" And because we like either karaoke or board game it up or whatever. And there's just some nights like it's like a date night or a game night, and we're staying in. And I'll just say, I was like, can't we just like, just chill? And he's like,
Right,
okay, so
exactly.
mhm.
Yeah, and again, unfortunately, I say unfortunately.
Hey, what about you, Gogo? Who would you?
Right.
Yeah. Guys, we have the open forum right now for anybody to join in regards
Actually,
to
Rick should join in
Zoom
because
or-
he's saying, I love this show and brings back memories to my 1980s in Subic Bay aboard the USS Kitty Hawk. Nice aircraft carrier.
Sweet.
That actually, Subic Bay, that's a great place to be stationed at. Yes. One of the best stations in Subic Bay. Yes. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, for those that don't know, and a lot of people actually do know, George was born and raised, went to college. His family's from here. His brother's a doctor. And this is the main reason we came back to Angeles City for retirement. Yes, the pandemic pushed us in the direction. A lot of businesses were closing down. The country was closing down at the time. And we had X amount of savings and knew we were going to come in another 5 to 10 years. And it just pushed us into it. That's all it did. But he's from this area. The reason he speaks such good English is because he was around the military base here. He was here when Pinatubo, exploded. He was here for the cleanups. Like I said, he finished college and had a family before he even left. So he wasn't a young kid. And then he has the experience of the U.S. And the last thing he did was a business long term. So, and so here we are. We were just pushed a little sooner into it why we had X amount of money, and they locked the country down, they locked businesses down, essential workers, and everybody suffered. Big businesses have closed because of the pandemic, and we just didn't want to deal with that. So for health, safety, and right before I left, which was about a year before we left, I found out I had lupus, and I've been dealing with cancer, so skin cancer. Honestly, it looks like it is.
Hey,
is that
Scotty boy, are you in the room, Scotty boy?
Regular guy, what's up?
If it's you, cam up. Seriously, I mean, it would be great to have you on the channel.
Yeah, let us know what's like really
Yeah,
going on, man.
regular guy says, hi, crowd of great people.
Yeah, that's the
hi, regular guy.
That's the only thing. I mean, I know he knows who we are, and I said that I was okay up to the Muslim thing, which was a thing that really just kind of threw me off, and it's for good reasons. For probably for your own safety, Scotty boy. And we said that during the video and everything.
Where's the baby Roonies? There you go.
Correct. They said irregular guy. Well, we'll know.
He says yes, it's me. He says yes, it's me.
Yeah.
Dude, you're welcome here. Honestly, I mean, it'd be great to have you. Oh, Gypsy says, wow, they never invited me.
Well, do I have a chance to do a threesome? Then I could add. I'll add regular guy.
Right.
That would be like, I don't know what that'd be like. But you know what? If I was in the middle, it'd be like a nutty butter.
Oh,
it'd be like me, like the peanut butter and fluffy in between.
Oh my God.
Or like a moon pie. You know how thin the wafers are?
Wow. Only in Philippine antics, guys. Only in Philippine antics.
Do I not give a good hug or what?
No, Scotty, that can't be you. I mean, turn your cam. But let's give it a shot. All right, everybody, welcome Scotty. Scotty, what's going on?
What's up, Scotty?
Hey guys, excuse the cam. Okay, I'm just lying in bed right now. I don't want to put on the cam.
Oh, it is Scotty.
What is up, Scotty?
How's
Are you
it going,
feeling
man?
better?
No, that's why I'm not putting the cam on right now.
Yeah, I know you were sick for a while.
No, not really, but oh, sorry,
right.
I got a delay here. How do I stop this delay?
The what?
Yeah, we didn't get that one, man.
Okay, I turned off one of the browsers. Can you still hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, sorry, couldn't hear what was going on. So I'm here. I can't see the chat anymore. I wanted to see the chat. Maybe if I put my other browser on mute, I can see the chat and also be on here. Michael Johnson. Hey, man, I've never met you before.
That's Music to Motion. He's the one that did our theme
Yeah, he did
song.
our intro. He's really great at music. Yes,
Nice
he's
to meet
actually a
you.
music
Oh.
producer.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Let me just Philippines antics. Okay, you're talking about.
So, regular guy, again, not to put you on the spot, and again, with all due respect, what do you your response when there's some comments that I've seen that they say you're kind of starting to have some. This is not from me, but
No.
they say that you're coming up with videos that are somewhat creepy. What's your comment on their comments?
Well, it's like, well, I guess because I'm focusing on the babes.
Right.
Is that? I mean, well, we can be specific here. So, like, what exactly is the problema? Because I get a lot of comments, like, and they're very vague, and so
Right.
I like, okay, Heidi, you said you didn't like the Muslim video, so I get it.
Well, with the Muslim girl in there, and then talking about her breasts and everything, that was my problem on that one video. And besides that, we said we watch your channel and everything. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
well,
I
the
just
thing
thought for her being a Muslim girl and the focus on her being big breasted and it in your title and in the beginning, the references throughout your video reference towards her, that was my concern on that. So
I guess that would be a female side.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I mean, I'm not going to try and defend myself or anything, but the videos aren't for everybody, I mean,
that's true.
That's true. Yeah. So, but I appreciate, it's my response would be, what difference does it make if she's Muslim or not? But you've got your reasons, so I don't need to know exactly what the reasons are, because it's like, somebody could make, maybe I'm a vegan and somebody makes a meat eating, and I could have my problem with them, right? But that's my problem that I have with the meat eaters, right? So I don't have to explain to them why I got a problem with them eating meat. Yeah, I could make a argument about why it's not good to eat meat, and people, they watch, if they watch a vid of mine and they say, I don't like the babes. Okay, well, you don't like the babes, so watch, Crypto Tracker, watch Philippine Antics.
That is true. They can, like we say, people can watch something else. That is true.
Well said, Scotty. Well said.
Okay, so there are people who are interested in checking out the babes. So I'm walking around, and so some babes are looking at me, and it's like, I got this idea from. Sorry, I can't see if you're. It's kind of screwed up. I can't see if you're talking or not. Am I free to go? Am I free to talk?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. Sorry about that, because I got two browsers on and I forgot which one is the live one. Okay. But you guys can hear me okay, right?
Yes. Loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. Oh wait, sorry, man. I just got to attend to this message I got here. One sec. Okay.
Yeah, actually, Document says that he likes your videos.
Yeah, okay, man. I mean, look, there are some, videos online, and it's like a guy, he's walking down, I don't know, what is it, Europe, or he's in Las Vegas or stuff like that, and he's got these big muscles and tattoos, and he's a good-looking guy.
Oh, and that guy. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They pause on every time the girl looks at him, right? But, you don't get comments saying that, oh, why are you stopping on these girls looking at this guy? And, but then when I do it, I get these comments, oh, you're so creepy. You're just focusing on the babes, and they're making eye contact. How dare you upload? How dare you put these girls on YouTube? It's like, well,
I actually like that. I like when you do that.
Yeah, I like it too, and it's my channel, so that's why I do it. I mean, look,
true. We got to say that.
Look, I mean, if anyone's got a problema with it, I always say, well, why are you watching the whole video when you don't like it?
That is true, but they still watch, don't they? Okay. That is true.
Actually, regular, you're right. I remember that guy you're talking about. Yeah, yes, I remember that YouTuber.
Got a question?
Who's that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Andy's here.
Guys, I got a question. Andy Omar has his profile picture is my mother, and he put a Hitler mustache on my mother. So how do you feel about that?
Oh, he did?
Is that really your mother?
Well, I can't see it right now. I can't see the profile pic. Beyond. Oh, it's kind of hard to see from our end.
Well, I'm telling you what he did. So how do you feel about it?
I think it's wrong if that's really your mother.
Well, it really is my mother. I made a video with my mother in it and my father, and he talks badly about my father, how he's dying, okay, which is true, which you shouldn't joke about. And he put my mother as with a Hitler mustache as his profile. So
you're the fucking victim. Now that you put all these fucking little girls out there and shit. My mommy, my fucking daddy, Andy Omar doesn't want to fucking meet me. Oh, you're such a wimp, Andy Omar.
Andy, how about an intelligent conversation? Here, Stop acting like a 5-year-old.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
This is the thing. Like these babes that you show, like, are really freaking, like it's very suspicious. Like there's like, what about your shorts that you uploaded before? You had up shorts that you uploaded before, and then you delete them. Why don't you put them back up if these girls are very,
Well, be more specific. What short are you talking about?
There's a short that you did in Fields, and you were with 2 girls on each side.
Well, what are you saying? They were young?
Like, why didn't you put it up there and let everybody see what I was talking about?
Well, I don't remember which short you're talking about.
It's the one short where there's 2 girls, one on each side near McDowell and Fields Avenue.
McDowell and Fields Avenue. Man, I don't know, man. What the hell?
I don't know. I don't know now.
Oh, no,
but
why
then
don't you
before,
be more specific?
you know,
What
you're just
exactly
showing
was
it
the
there, and then
problem?
people called you out, and then you deleted that shit, and now you're the one being victimized because they're putting your fucking mother on the thing.
Oh,
What do you mean?
watch
They're
your
really.
watch the
But
F word
when
there,
these like
Andy.
when you
Please.
put these
No.
so-called
No, you
babes
just
out
said
there, these
they're putting
babes,
it.
like it's
Would you
oh,
mute
you
this?
know,
Would
your
you mute
daddy,
this
you know.
guy? Hey, Philippines Antics, would you mute him?
Again, Andy, again, with all due respect, again, try
Okay,
to
go ahead.
limit the F word, bro. Okay.
Sorry.
What do you mean? Limit the F
There's
word?
another
It's not
guy
even
here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi guys, Mark Goldberg here. How are you?
Hey, Mark. We got Mark Goldberg, the watch guy. He's a dog trainer. Hello.
Hey, Mark.
Hello. I'm a B-list. I'm a C-list YouTuber, you guys. C-list. Glad to be here with the A-list.
Where are we at, Z?
Yeah, we're Z. We're Generation Z.
You guys are
Hey,
running
Doc.
an epic. It just turned epic.
Hello, everybody.
Doc.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, what's going on, Doc?
I'm here. I've got Scotty's back against Andy. Andy, you don't like Scotty? Leave. Go away. Don't watch his channel. Turn the channel. Leave him alone. Quit being a man-child.
No, this is the thing, man. Like, you know, I just don't like it. You know, he's out there talking shit about me. Like before, I was,
come on, man.
you know, leaving him alone, right?
Don't play victim. You know what you've done. Don't play victim. He didn't talk
I know
about
what I'm
you.
doing
You're the
now,
one to
yeah.
talk about him all the time. Come on, man.
Yeah, now I know. Yeah.
Listen, guys, as a fellow YouTuber, what I can tell you we love more than anything else is talking about other YouTubers because it's a circle of content, never-ending content. We love this.
Right, it's a circle. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for this stream, George and Heidi. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing. Like I said, we've always said that we watch the regular guy, and the reason I said there was just that one video, and like Scotty said, if we don't like it, then we just wouldn't watch the rest of the video, and that's what I did at that point, right? So it's, you know, the other stuff we've actually watched, and then everybody has their right on what they don't, you know, like everything like Andy, and then from there it turned into something else, and you know, and we always have the option to turn it off, just like we were talking about the girls and stuff. And
Exactly.
And in all fairness, actually, the one thing I love about the regular guy is he actually goes in these places that most YouTubers don't go to.
That is true.
And he travels, he goes to these places, and that's content, you know what I'm saying? And it's not just something like, oh, hey, look at me, I'm in Jollibee, you know what I'm saying? He actually goes to these places, you know. Oh, there's this pizza stand. I won't buy pizza there, but you know, I mean, I'm talking about what regular guys
Look at those boobs. Look at those boobaroonies.
Right.
And we do laugh at that. Yes.
Right.
Listen, I watch George and Heidi because you are so real that you're really giving the Philippines experience from a different perspective, especially with the female expat. I watch Scotty because the stories are unbelievable, and I gotta confess, Andy, you're my guilty, shameful pleasure. You're like eating, you know, you're like eating right out of the pie tin in the middle of the night, standing at the fridge, because you're really compelling. And Scotty, please do not read the private chat because Andy has left you a really nasty message. But that's Andy.
Is it the same one?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's just he mean. He has. Well, here's the thing about Andy. He got zero filters, zero F's given.
True.
And you know, I don't know if you
and we
admire
don't
that.
always have to agree on everything. There's some things that I'm sure Andy doesn't like that we've said, vice versa. The same with MYK, and that's part of it. We try to, if we're saying something and then you ask us, we'll say, oh, it's because of this. Make sure you're doing this. Make sure you're doing your immigration. Make sure you're paying your taxes. And usually we do. Now, sometimes we'll bring back up the same thing because it comes back around. But we keep it as about as real as George will let me. And my medication within limits.
I'm the physical filter for Heidi.
George,
but Andy, again, his charm is just
no filters.
Andy's Andy. You know what I'm saying? And that's his charm.
George, blink 3 times real slow if you need assistance.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a little overlooked fact. You know, everybody says that Cardwell paid his debt to society, but the thing is that, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a long time since I read his case histories online, but I'm pretty sure wasn't he released early for snitching and then testifying in federal court? So basically,
he fled in 2012, took his brother's passport to Thailand. They caught him in June of 2013, which that's the only thing he got right. He was sentenced in 2014. Federal records that I found today only shows he was released in 17 with probation, which it doesn't show there's any warrants for him at this time. Nothing federal at this time, yes.
Yeah, I saw some news coverage which said, you know, he ratted out his cellmate, testified.
Yes, that's how he was supposed to be sentenced to 290 years. Okay, and they brought it down to 10. The lucky son of a biscuit.
And then he didn't serve all of that. He didn't serve
so out of 10 to get out like that, yeah, he turned rat real
That's
quick.
some serious snitching right there.
Man, if he ever goes back to prison, he's going to be in enormous trouble because he's a known rat. He's a snitch.
Well, I would have snitched my butt off to get out of prison.
Anybody would, but if you go back, you're in such big trouble because, you know, you're a rat.
It's an incentive not to go back, right? A big incentive not to go back.
Well, I wonder how he feels sitting in a jail cell in Cebu right now.
I think the Philippines is behind, and according to the way they read it, they're saying he's a fugitive, but I think they've got old records. And there doesn't show to be any new charges. He's not on any list. He was a long time ago on an FBI list. I think that's what they found when they, you know, they keep running all the time. But it doesn't appear there's any new charges. So I think they're looking at the old charges, and there might be a possibility of the tax thing. So it's a possibility, but it doesn't show there's anything outstanding.
That would be
he could have been a fugitive from the BI also, just from the BI.
Correct.
Yeah, Stanley is a
well, they said he was a fugitive for America. They didn't say for the Philippines. So they were clear about that he was a U.S. fugitive.
Stanley Booth has been like commenting on almost every channel about Zoom, you know, let's play it out. He has a lawyer and all this. Like, what's your deal with it? Are you like a super fan of Cardwell or something? I'm just trying to wonder in the comments, Stanley Booth. And because I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it says.
Even if he does have a lawyer.
Let's play it out before passing judgment. Well, actually, we're not passing judgment on now. We're passing judgment on facts. And just to clarify again.
The judgment was passed years ago in federal court.
Correct.
Guilty. Boom.
That is true.
Right.
That is true.
And again, the thing we're talking about, it's
just as recent. We just had on his recent where he was telling things and he was still not telling the truth on that. So, yep, and he's been arrested.
Yeah, he's looking at old charges. Yes, correct. No, this is true.
That was our last wording. Is they probably just have everything backward. What is with your friend there?
Yeah, they got guys like in Angeles, they get, you know, blacklisted or caught with something, and then it's based on old charges, but they get blacklisted anyway. So what are they gonna do? Go back to the Philippines and try to fight it out? Nope, they can't do anything about it afterwards.
Yeah, but they try though. I mean, it's a regular thing, unfortunately. And I say unfortunate because honestly, I think it's a waste of time on the Philippines resources, and actually it's a waste of time on their part and money because, I mean, I get it. You're trying to get a new life. I understand. I completely understand. You're going to the Philippines to start a new life. You have a record, and I understand. However...
Right, and the Philippines also has the right to not have you here as a felon at all.
But the thing that we don't see, again, this is a daily occurrence, but most of these people sell everything they own, get rid of everything they own. They burn bridges just to get to the Philippines, and they go to the Philippines, and then they get rejected for their past. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why the Philippines says no, but you guys have to remember these are people, and they sacrifice everything. They've paid their dues, and yet here they are getting turned away. And again, that's the Philippines, right? Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
What is going on, Bruce?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Hey, I had a question for you guys. So, how many years ago was that World Zoom did this?
Well, the crime went from about 2003 to 9 at the hospital, and then he continued to cipher around 2011, the second one, because he created a company. So he went to court in 2012, and that's when he fled. Okay, so the initial case was like, I think it was early March 2012, and then he took off when they just let him kind of stand on his own. And he stole his brother's passport, and then they caught him in Thailand 2013, but he had already spent around 8 months in prison.
Do you guys know that when you like whatever he pled guilty, whatever it was, I'm a thief, all that kind of crap, right? He pled guilty, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All that money that's owed.
Yep.
He might have been put off probation, but here's the thing for federal, at least what I do know is that if you still owe money, they can still extend your parole time or whatever, whatever.
Yeah, that was the theory initially, but he has an actual real passport, and usually around the 5th year they'll issue that to somebody that's out and paid. But he probably owes taxes, possibly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because it's like, with all that kind of money, that's not going to probably ever get paid off. But
well, he was still set for that 3.4 million, but it said that, like I said, they would have never issued a passport federally.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked into the federal laws and passports, and somewhere around the 5th year they will, and that's exactly when he arrived, was about 5 years after the fact. So
are they mostly just looking? I mean, I'm just thinking that they like maybe something in their computer here or something. I don't know.
I think they're behind. I think it's possible they're behind, but I think it'll be too late because the fact that he does have the felony and they've got him, then they're just going to.
Now, to clarify, the thing is, he went through. He did get through. It's when he was renewing, I believe, is when they got him.
Yeah, eventually they catch up. So,
correct.
And that's what it looks like.
So that tells you anything. Again, he got through. He's already here. He's just extending. And then that's when
he got through twice. Remember, he was here before for a while.
Correct.
Remember? So he went through probably several visa extensions there. He was here for a while then.
Right.
Went back to the States and came back, and it's all caught up now. But the problem is for him is that immigration has lost face now. They've got him, and there's only one way to get out of that, and that's to deport him or whatever they decide to do.
Yeah, because they don't have to. When you go to get a permit, because I guess he was also, besides renewing his extension, he was checking into something more permanent, SRRV. Maybe he's got a girlfriend, was thinking about marrying, inquiring on a permanent residency, which at that point they'll run another background check, which sometimes is connected a little further. They do a little background every time they renew the visas. It's just a matter of when the hit's going to come through. But if you go through any of them permanent visas and you go into something heavier, at that point, felonies just aren't accepted. They got to be super innocent if they accept them. It's like Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
You just, these days, they're really cutting down on that. And with him having federal charges, it's, yeah.
Can I just point out that Andy and Scotty fighting in the comments is hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
it is funny.
Regular guy says, Andy, if I'm homeless, can I stay at your house?
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty, I just want you to know we love you. Okay, don't take any.
Yes, Scotty. Again, feel free to talk, man. Feel free to talk.
And Andy, we can't stop you, and we might be secretly glad that we can't. That's all.
So, hey, Scotty. So, how come you had spent 20 years in Korea and you don't even speak? Like, how can you never even speak? What's up with that? You don't even speak the language.
Well, I mean, can you guys hear me?
It's just a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, we can hear you.
Say it in Korean, Scotty, please. Go ahead. Say it in Korean.
No, I don't want to. I want to say it in English. I don't follow orders, okay? I follow my own heart, okay? My heart is my orders, okay? And what makes you think I can't speak Korean?
Well, I mean, you never do. Like, I mean, you would think, like, you would say something sometimes. Like, maybe there's people that are in Korea that may be following you. that don't
There was
speak English.
one time, and there was a Korean passing by, and I talked to him on video. I don't remember if it was a live or on a video, but I mean, you know, if I say something, nobody understands it, right? I mean, when somebody types Korean in the chats, I can understand what he's saying and I can read it, right? But I mean, what am I going to say in Korean that, you know, people are going to comment? Why are you speaking this? You know, you speak English. Why? I mean, I don't get it. I've heard Andy say this too. Like he's there for 20 years, he can't speak Korean, right? But I mean,
it's just a question.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because like, wouldn't there be higher revenue in Korea instead of, you know, in the Philly Willy, like you say?
Because he's an English
Way
teacher.
higher.
How does this not make sense? He's an English teacher, so he's there for 20 years teaching and speaking English.
Yeah, but if he could have created something like a YouTube a long time ago, and you know, because the Koreans would eat it up. Like if it was a white man speaking Korean, oh my god, they go fucking crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've been to Korea, Andy. I'm just out of curiosity, not to probe too deeply, but have you been to Korea?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, then you have the props, sir. I loved Seoul. I thought Seoul was an amazing city, kind of cheap for an American, and you know, like it's like New York. It's amazing.
Well,
yeah, it's pretty nice, really clean.
You just gave Andy a pass though. You said, "Were you ever in Korea?" You don't even know if it was for an hour or for 10 years.
Well,
right?
let's probe. Let's. I was only there for a week. My daughter spent 2 years there teaching English, so I had to go visit. But go ahead. Scotty.
Yeah, I've been several times, but
Andy, hold on, Andy. Raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Uh-oh, he's muted.
Put the camera on. The camera off.
Well, you know, we have to trust somebody.
All right. Oh, thank you so much for being a member of Philippine Beach in Life. New member. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, Scotty, when you come back to Angel City, we're going to meet up for
Yeah,
breakfast?
we should meet up, have a few drinks, or have, you know, whatever you want to eat or something.
Are you guys in Angeles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Are you really? Are you in Angeles or nearby Angeles?
Well,
it's
we're in Mabalacat, so we're 2
kilometers
miles from
away,
the airport, and we're less than 2 miles from Walking Street.
Yeah, less than 2 miles from Clark. Yes.
Okay.
And 2 miles from
the reason I'm asking is I thought you were in Mabalacat, and I thought about living in Mabalacat, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, that's where we live.
No, that's
so which is the better part of living outside the main area. Yes, so the rents get to be cheaper, and so
Look,
yeah.
Well, and actually, the air is somewhat cleaner. Somewhat. I mean, Heidi will tell you that.
Hey man, I get sick of the atmosphere.
Remember,
but I would love to discover sort of the outlying areas of Angeles and maybe set up shop there.
Yeah, so like if you come back through here, we got, you know, George has got the little car. You guys can go all over the place. So, yep.
George has a little car.
Yeah, we got a car.
We have a car.
Yeah, we have a car.
Okay, good.
It's the only little thing George has, so I hear.
Oh, dang.
You're right. Because for all you doubters out there, it takes a real man to handle me.
Heidi sits in the back of the car like she's a tourist or something.
I have to.
Actually, I insist that Heidi sits in the back, because if they see Heidi in the front, I mean, I'm not being. What I'm saying is, if we get stopped by a cop, I could say, "Oh, I'm just driving, ma'am."
So
around,
Heidi tells everybody you're her trike driver.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Because we have the e-trike too, and that's what he does.
Service lang po. Dinadala ko lang si madam.
The only bad thing is Heidi gives you 20 pesos every time you take her to the store.
Actually, yeah. Actually, right?
True story, though. Actually, yes. She sits in the back. I drive in the front all the time.
Does that make you feel cheap and used, or how's that go over?
Between the cooking and the good loving he gets, there's no complaints here, man.
It looks pretty. Yeah, it looks pretty happy.
No lacking shakaroonies here.
Hey, George,
there you go. I'm sure they didn't want to envision that, but
hey, wait, I think that might be George. That might be copyrighted, and you owe Scotty 25 pesos right now.
Oh, there you go. I owe Scotty boy. Yes.
Well, did you hear the question? He asked me if there was what vlog or what I consider like shacking up with if George passed away, and I said the Filipina P. And then I said, he goes, well, that was my choice too. I said, but if we throw in the regular guy, I said it'd be like one of, you know, if you guys put me in the middle because I'm fluffy, I said that it would be like a moon pie or something.
I'll be down with that.
I'm just saying, if the Filipina P appeals to both of you, why wait until one of you is dead?
There you go.
Just a
All
thought.
pass.
Just a thought.
Right.
All pass.
There you go. You go do that.
I would love to watch the video after that.
We need the love child.
I'm kind of like your waitress. Don't forget to tip me.
Yeah, don't forget to tip your waitress.
Hey, Early Wilson, thank you so much for being a member. Appreciate it.
Oh boy.
Guys, join this channel as a member. It's the benefits are incredible. George and Heidi are texting me and emailing me constantly.
There you go.
Yeah, we actually do some side stuff. Yeah. Hey, I wish an expat would get arrested every day, and then we could have a great live stream like this. Meet up with Scotty Boy and Mark in the house, and Doc M and Andy. Shoot, who's getting arrested next?
Andy will tell you.
let me know.
Yeah,
I hope you guys pick over my bones this good, like I said earlier. Please do.
But like, if Heidi was going to get arrested, guys, what do you think it would be for? Because like, I have a fair idea.
Oh dang, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
So if Heidi was getting arrested, what would she be arrested for?
Robbing the Dunkin' Donuts.
I was about to say the same thing.
She would need the donuts. She'd give them to George. George would have the evidence.
I need my sugar. God damn it.
You were there already. Yeah, I wish an expat would get arrested every day, and we can have a great live stream.
You're playing.
Oh, we can hear the feedback. That's your mics or your audio's up.
He's got two browsers open. Close one.
Yeah, you gotta close the other browser.
I hope you guys pick over my bones.
Leslie, close the YouTube app and just use StreamYard.
Hi, guys.
If Heidi was going to get arrested.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that's Lenny. Yeah, your feedback's too bad.
Well,
And now
Gypsy-
I believe Gypsy's next. There's feedback.
Guys, when you come on a stream, use the StreamYard app and close the YouTube app, and that'll fix that problem.
Correct. Yeah, we're having feedback here. Let's try this again.
Stream ad so you not use the YouTube app.
Yeah, sorry, Lenny. That's still bad feedback, unfortunately.
This is a historic day. I have finally joined your stream.
All right, Gypsy, there you go. No feedback.
I just want to say hello to everyone here and the 150 friends watching. Fantastic. But the reason I'm here is I have a question for Scotty though, or I should say Scott. Scotty sounds weird for me to say. Scott, you there?
Yeah, Gypsy, I got one question. What does your Chinese thing say there? Gypsy something. What is it?
No, that's my my real name that in Chinese characters.
Oh, okay. So what's your question?
Yeah. So, you say that you're fully reliant on YouTube, which, you said that time and time again. And you've had an extensive career teaching English in Korea. And you and I have chosen very similar career paths, right? I'm only embarking on, I guess, a quarter of what you've done. And I can already visualize my exit plan. Do you feel like you should have had an exit plan in the past? Because, relying on YouTube, let's say something goes bad, let's say Andy takes you down, and you said that you would have to go back to teaching again, which I think you said you would be unhappy with. It's something that you would not want to do. So if you found yourself in that situation, do you think that maybe you could have made a better decision, or you have no regrets?
Yeah, well, no, I made a whole bunch of bad decisions because basically I was comfortable teaching, it was, I started teaching young and I just kept teaching. And then, see, the problem is that you have these 1-year contracts, maybe 2-year contracts, and then you're free to travel. And I was a young buccaneer. All I wanted to do was travel. So I would go to Thailand or wherever, and basically spend all the money I saved. And when the money ran out, I would go back to teaching. So is that a good game plan? No, but that's what I did.
But so you're saying that teaching English, the problem wasn't the career path. It was just how you appropriated your funds, right?
Well, I always had the idea that I'll be dead by 45, right? Well, now I'm 45. So I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Bad
so
luck.
What can I do?
Bad luck,
now.
Scotty.
I'm screwed big time.
Unfortunately.
Andy, geez,
so if you could go back and do it all over again, would you teach English, or would you find yourself going into a different field where you would have a retirement, or you would have a little bit more security?
Oh, believe me, this has gone through my mind. I'd go to university after school, study like computer science or something. Not that I'm smart enough to know that stuff, right? But that would be my what I'd pursue, that avenue. And then I'd graduate, get a job in a corporate world, and sort of live my life there in Vancouver.
Right. I was afraid of that answer.
Funds or going back to school.
What?
You said you were going to take a course, right? The computer science and all that.
No, hypothetically.
I was asking if I was 18 again, just finishing high school.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, hypothetically, I was afraid of that answer because, much like yourself, I've kind of like I've sided with the CCP in every single way, and not to say that it's a bad decision, but I'm getting stuck in the rut of teaching English. Like you say, like it can be a fairly easy job. I mean, what I'm doing, I've gotten into the rhythm of everything. I know what they expect of me. Therefore, my day-to-day is not really that difficult. It's more consuming on the body than anything. But yeah, I can see myself just kind of not doing this. Like I said, I commented in another person's chat, like, there's no way I could teach English for more than 10 years. I think at that time, I'm burnt out. And maybe you can... No, 10 years total, 10 years total.
Well, how much time now?
I have 5 left. Actually, yeah, five and some change. Yeah,
Can I ask
a little
how
over
old you are?
5 years. I am 39.
Okay, so basically, was your life screwed? Like when you're 18, do you wish you did something else similar to me?
No, in fact, I went back to university as a non-traditional student. So we got government grants when we turned 25 and chose to go back to university, whether someone wanted to change a career path or go into university for the first time, which was what I did. And, I didn't go to school to study English. I studied business management. And I was in the middle of my divorce when I made a decision to teach English because just like you, I don't really find living in my home country that exciting. I know that I could live a comfortable life, but the world is so big out there that you don't really get that much time off to enjoy it. I think 2 weeks max. I mean, unless you have a good job where you can get PTO or whatever the case may be. So I felt like, teaching English, you get 1 month off, 2 months off a year, and at least, depending on the school. So I felt like that was a good way for me to enjoy. And I've already traveled to many different countries. So it's not like I need the time off. It's just something. It's an option to have. There are these European countries that do have a month off. I think in France, the whole month of August, everyone just does what they want to. There's no pressure for them. And I feel like I wish our country was a little bit more.
Can you just get to the point?
No, I like to hear myself talk, Scott, just like you. Come on, man. We're cut from the same, a similar cloth.
So 5 years from now, then what are you going to be doing with your life?
Thank you. Yes, for guiding me into that. So I'm going to enroll into the PGA of America, become a golf instructor, and possibly manage pro shop, golf course, whatever. I've worked in the industry before, so I'm not really that worried about it.
I have a suggestion. I have an idea. If I'm hearing an echo, sorry, but if you're worried about getting burned out in your job, which trust me, don't go down the IT route. I went that route. I suggest investing, learn about the stock market, and build up a portfolio that is enough that you can start trading options, sell covered calls, and things like that. You can take us. You don't have to have $1 million. You could take a smaller amount and make a monthly income enough to survive in these Asian countries and thrive.
Well, there's a huge problem with that. You're talking to two individuals that just thrive under the term, or the acronym YOLO. We only live once.
Yeah. Scott, I have a serious question for you. And again, a lot of people probably want to know, because honestly, a lot of expats that come here, they want that extra money. And the question I have for you is, what app or program do you recommend expats to come here in the Philippines and teach online?
Like which one is the better one?
Because I never did it. You know what I'm saying? So it would be better to ask someone like Gio, or as Andy calls them, Flippy Hands. He was teaching online, so he would know, but I doubt he's going to join this live chat.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
I taught online all last year, and it just wasn't worth it, to be honest with you. Like, unless you have your own private students that's kind of organically grown, then okay, you can charge what you want to. But if you're working for a company, they're going to take a huge cut of what you should be earning. So you're going to be working.
Ambly's one, I can only think, because there's a couple that said that they wanted to do it. So
yeah, so I told them to kick rocks. I'm like, you know what, guys, this is not for me.
okay.
So this year I have new goals, and my new goals are related to golf. That's what I'm going to do. Going back to Scotty's question.
Are you like some kind of like rank player or something like that? Like to be that
No.
confident enough to, be coaching? I'm not trying to bust your balls or anything. I'm just
No,
wondering.
yeah. It's a niche sport, so I can understand that it does require a little bit of certification. And I have played professionally before. I've played throughout like my high school days and stuff like that. And usually, like there's two different ways where you can be a golf coach, where you can either be certified, go through the academic way, or you can play at such a high level that you have that ranking. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to build up my status, because technically right now I have no status, and I'm trying to trying to qualify next year for the China Pro Golf Tour, just to like give myself some credibility. Because if I go somewhere right now and say, oh yeah, let's I can be a golf coach, the only thing that I can do is just show them how I play. Once they see how I play, then they're like, okay, yeah, sure, I want to do the same thing that you're doing. And that's generally the selling point. But I would like to go at it a more different route, and me teaching golf in China, I'm going to need to have certification in order to get the immigration work visa. So
yeah, regular guy. What do you mean by that? Yeah, I'm screwed on Social Security. What does that mean?
Well, because
YouTube thing.
I should let Scotty speak for himself if he's mic'd up.
Not mic'd up, but I'm curious what you got to say.
Well, I was going to say, you've talked many times in your videos about a couple things. One, you're Canadian, you're not on the American Social Security system, but you've often said that you've enjoyed your life, but that you haven't really qualified for whatever the pension system is in Canada, and that you kind of screwed yourself in that way. So you've talked about that a lot.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's also like this. There's Social Security, just like there is in America, but you got to be, because what happened was these, you got a million people who entered Canada, and they worked for 2 years, got Social Security, and went back to Bangladesh or wherever they're from. And so Canada enacted this new law where you got to live in Canada 6 months a year in order to maintain that Social Security, which, it's so expensive now, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you basically have to live in Bangladesh with what they pay you in order to survive, or in the Philippines. So I wouldn't even want to do that. So what am I going to do? Go home, be an electrician for 20 years, get my Social Security, and then what? Then I have to live 6 months in the cold, right? And then 6 months in the Philippines, and then I go home and my rent's what? $4,000 a month, and I can't even afford to live there. So I basically got to be homeless. So I'm trying to go down another path where I don't even have to rely on Social Security.
Scotty, does that mean that Canadians who work their entire life for their pension or Social Security there in Canada are going to be unable to be full-time expats now because of that law?
Yeah, you have to. Well, you can live overseas, but then you don't get your Social Security.
Okay, got it. Yeah, no, that's a shame. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, I kind of see it like a self-destructive behavior. I mean, you're a young guy and you can literally work, and yeah, like you said, you might have 10 years or something, few months down the boat, right? But I'm just wondering, like, you're living in the Philippines supposedly on YouTube income only, but what if something happens today or tomorrow? Like, you go to 7-Eleven on your bike and then some truck comes over and hits you. Because I know I've been in a couple of accidents where I got hit out of nowhere. Just, it happens.
Yeah, that's a risk you take, right? So, I mean, what am I supposed to do? You got to just live your life.
I mean, there's like medical and stuff, and whatever YouTube income you would have, it would just completely deplete. I'm not trying to bust your balls at this moment, but it is kind of concerning.
No, but I mean, you could look at the worst case scenario and you can look at the best case scenario, right? But I mean, you wake up in the morning and you just live your life. And so I'm not really thinking about it. I've never really thought about the future, and I'm not thinking about the future now in this case. And I don't really think about the best or worst case scenarios. I just all I know is I'm going to bye-bye tomorrow. So whether I get hit by a bus on the way to bye-bye, it's up to God.
Scotty Boy's an optimist. With feedback, because you've got two browsers open and one is not muted.
Well, I appreciate Scott for handling these questions. In fact, as I said, I'm sharing the same thing with him. And it's true that people will look down on us for not putting into the system, looking for the golden years ahead of us. And I can see the risk that's there. So yeah, I just wanted to pick his brain a little bit. So I do appreciate that, Scott.
I'm one of these guys who paid into the system my whole life. I'm 66 years old this month. But I can tell you this, I would be looking back with a lot of regret if it weren't for the fact that I've always just loved my work and been passionate about it, especially the dog training and the writing. And I would probably do that for free if I had to. But I think who like slave in regular jobs, I think it's possible to look back and say, I spent my whole life to prepare myself to eat right before I die, So I do think the system is a little nutsy. And guys like you and Scotty, I feel like are just grabbing life by the balls, and I think that's admirable.
Yes,
Hey, Mark,
I agree.
Who's got the feedback? It couldn't be Andy or Bruce because they're on mute.
I'm using headphones, so
we think it's you, Scotty. Scotty, we think that you have an app open as well as StreamYard. And if you're only on StreamYard, if you use StreamYard on a laptop, then you can see the comments. If you use it on a phone, it's really hard.
What about Lanny over there? There was a feedback earlier.
That's true. Maybe you mute. Maybe.
Well, they haven't had any audio from him for a while.
Yeah, but it could be the feedback.
Well, I muted it just to test it. It's still there.
Scotty's muted and it stopped.
It's gone.
Yeah, Scotty is the culprit.
Yeah.
Scotty was muted. It was somebody else. Somebody dropped.
Gypsy did. But Gypsy has a very good audio system, though. So.
Scotty, turn on your mic a second, and we'll know if it was you or not. There.
Okay, it's back on.
Oh no, we're good. Sorry, Scotty, falsely accused.
No, I was culprit because I had another browser open, but the other browser was on mute. So I don't know how that was causing.
Wasn't you then? Yeah, it wasn't you.
Oh yeah, Gypsy says it was him. He says Gypsy says it was him.
Gypsy, because when he went down, it was actually.
Yeah, he tested it. He turned off his mic, so
he was a deep mole.
Can you guys?
Now, I have a question. Now, for those of you that do YouTube and you rely on YouTube for an income, do you invest at all? Do you put money into the stock market or mutual funds or trusts and things like that, and learn how to trade options on those?
I got a guy.
You can make money every month on through that.
Did you say options?
Yeah, I trade options. Yeah.
Okay, that's risky, and you need to know a lot to trade options.
I know a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
I've done very well for myself.
No, that's listen. The option thing, Michael. You should tell us a little bit more about it because most people don't really fully understand what that means. But there's huge financial leverage if you know what you're doing there, right?
Yeah. Now, when you say financial leverage, now leverage is some people use the word leverage, some people use the word margin. With some brokerages, you can actually get margin. I don't suggest people starting out ever use margin.
That means borrowed money, to be specific.
Borrowed money, exactly. But if you own 100 shares of a particular stock, you can trade one option on it. So, if you own 1,000 shares of a stock, you can do, it's 100 shares per option. And what you do, you just look at the stock market and you kind of follow, and I don't have, it's too complex to go into like the charts and all that. But find a fairly stable stock that has very low implied volatility, and you speculate that it's probably not going to go reach this amount by next month. And you sell an option when you sell an option, it means I'm willing to sell my shares. I paid
Don't
X
you
amount.
think the market's about to tank any day now?
You never know. The market goes up and down. That's why you can't speculate. You can't speculate.
The market is on a cycle, Scotty, just like women. Although not quite as regular.
Yeah.
Well,
what would be an initial investment though, in an amount?
It depends on the stock. Gotcha. You can start, a few $1,000s.
Gotcha. That was the ideal, yeah.
Yeah, a few $1,000s. I mean, when I started it, I probably, maybe 20,000 I put in. And I built that up and built that up.
And look at you now. Michael, it looks like you're in a jail cell with Paul.
Yeah, exactly. He did a Cardwell.
He's
prepping.
No, this is not financial advice, and I'm not.
No, I'm just saying the bars all around you and the metal on top of you. It looks like a jail cell.
Well, that's very common. This is common in the Philippines.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen that.
It's a shark cage. We call that a shark cage here.
Yeah, my woman keeps me in here.
That's great. By the way, she's beautiful. She's just beautiful.
Salamat po.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Paul.
But yeah, maybe we should do one day. I'll talk to you guys. Maybe we should do a specific show about
Money Talk with Mike Johnson and Philippine.
Yeah,
there you go. Money Talks.
Yeah.
Money Talks.
Yeah, because we're going to be doing a lot more live streams and stuff this month. So.
Chosen One says buy Bitcoin. That's
Bail
the future.
Money,
That's what.
saying. Bitcoin. Well, don't buy the actual underlying, but go into the Grayscale trusts. Grayscale has LTCN, which is a Litecoin trust, and BCHG, which is a Bitcoin Cash trust, and they will have more premium than the actual underlying assets. So just don't take my advice. But the Bitcoin halving is coming this month, and you're going to see these things skyrocket. So
that's a really good advice right there. You should have this guy more stalking. That's a good subject.
Yeah. Well, Michael's always with us. So yeah, he's always there.
Yeah, I'm just a normal guy, though.
Let's say pan for gold.
Not regular guy.
Pan for gold. There you go. Pan for gold. But in all fairness, actually, Hurley Wilson says technically it is gambling. I mean, there is no 100% plan.
Yeah, but long term, the stock market goes up. Just like long, in any 10 years.
It always has.
You know.
Yeah, it's a
It
time.
always
thing,
has.
so.
And I mean, I'm not going to disclose what I have now, but I've built up enough to retire at 51.
Sweet.
Wow, that's pretty good. For me, it's 55.
Yeah,
my main retirement plan is 55 for sure. Then I will start selling properties and shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's very possible, and it doesn't take as much. It doesn't take as much as people think to get started, and especially with this
Got a
bull
cat
run.
farm and 2 puppies.
I want to know what George and Heidi are laughing about, because it's probably better than all
our plans, our future financial plans lies on us farming cats and selling them.
Is that right? Well, you know what? How do you feel about pelts?
there you go.
Cat pelts.
Cat pelts. It's the future.
I would actually buy it. They're pretty soft.
I mean,
you could open a mystery meat
taco. It's having a coat like tiger. It's like
Actually,
a tiger coat.
that, or I'm going to do the Ace Bachelor cool thing. I'm just going to hire a bunch of Filipinas on 500 pesos and work.
Can I ask a
24
question
hours.
about? I have a question for you guys and the audience about Ace Bachelor Cole, who I like very much. So, okay, so this is not a criticism, but he keeps talking about dating babes, dating baberoonies, dating the young between 18
Yes,
and
he does.
23, but they're all from the bar, which means it's not dating. It's just
No, and he says that.
It's
pretty much
hiring.
not dating. He's just there having fun, living his best life.
yes, but he calls it dating repeatedly. It's hiring. Why can't we just call it what it is? Nothing wrong with it. It's mongering.
Right.
It's hiring.
No, and that's what he does. And now he does like a second shift, and he's using all girls to actually do his content, almost the exact, if not the same, but with girls. And I told George, I said, that's not a bad idea.
Do you know
What
what
if
it
we
reminds
just
me of,
put a
Heidi?
couple webcams in the apartment and have people walking around, you know?
It's like the girls with at the boxing match, round one, and then they're walking around. You know, that's what he. You know, it's not stupid.
Yeah, we can have George mud wrestling.
If you like boobs, now I personally do not, but you know, most of these guys do. Boobs, they love it, right, Scotty?
Yep,
boobs.
Yeah, now we've actually met Ace Bachelor Cool in person, and again, he probably doesn't remember us. And I mean, it was a
You're
party.
unforgettable, George.
Now
It was a score.
now, now the thing about Ace Bachelor Cool, again, not a criticism. He's a lot like Scott over here. He grabs life by the balls and he goes after it.
Yep.
He's uninhibited. If he sees a girl, because I've seen it with my own eyes, if he sees a girl that he likes, he has no inhibitions approaching her and talking to her and try to get her number. And that's the thing. That's the key to success. If you don't go after anything, you're not going to win anything. And that's something that Ace Bachelor Cole has. He goes after
At that
it.
time, I told him to get the number when you saw him.
Oh, right. Actually, yes, Andy Omar was there. Yes. That's right. Andy was there.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, do you take a bodyguard with you when you go to meetups?
No, I don't. Honestly, like I've met Ace. I hanged around with him a few times. Pretty cool guy. You know, usually he says dating, but you obviously know what it means.
Yeah,
So, like, you cannot say it on YouTube, or
I wish he would just, do like that.
Yeah. But I never really see him with like a 18,
That's funny,
21, 23-year-old. Like usually I see him with older chicks, like, over 25 and stuff. Like I don't really see him
Older
with
chicks.
young girls.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, he said older chicks, 25.
Right?
Over the
Right.
hill in this.
Too old
Wow.
for a regular
25 years
guy.
old, you're single? Holy cow.
Well, I don't know the Philippines as well as I know Thailand. And in Thailand, a 40-year-old woman was 25, a lot of them. So
Oh, exactly. Yes, they are freaking hot.
very hard to tell. These women, most of them age, much better than we do. Let's put it that way.
They do. Oh my God. When I was there, I was just buying drinks for like girls that were like 40 and 30, 39 and stuff. And they looked like they were basically in their 20s, like 25 and stuff. I was like, what? Like they take care good, they really take care good of themselves, like their skincare, everything.
They do.
It's crazy.
They do have serious skincare regimen, yes.
Yeah.
And their armpits are always shaved and clean. It's a Filipino thing.
Unlike you.
Oh, well, that's how I'm Filipinos.
He's so Philippine.
Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of biased here.
You want to show us what you got, George?
George is an armpit man.
Well, actually, it's an Asian thing, actually, not just Filipinos, even Thailand.
Well, Northern European, North American types we're a hairy people.
Correct.
Most Asians are not, just kind of naturally not.
Yeah. But there's an old song, Heidi, you probably remember this. Older women, they make good lovers.
It's better.
Older women, they understand. I've been around. You know that song.
Yeah.
Older women are better.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. No feedback. Excellent.
It's nice to meet all you guys, and I respect all the bloggers in the Philippines. Me and my wife have too much anxiety to complete a channel, and we're not tech savvy, but I watch all you guys and gain a lot of knowledge from listening to you guys. I just wish that everybody would be a little bit more positive to each other on the bloggers a little bit, and help each other instead of trying to hinder each other. It's I know drama sells, sex sells, but so does just humanity.
Kumbaya does not get views, Lon. Yeah. You're not wrong. It does feel good.
Yeah,
this is the hobby of mine, and this is the only time I get to rent, like in the house and stuff like that, and say whatever I
kind
want.
Of agree. we have gone down that path, and for us, it's
all
for
about
us. It's really a marginalized niche for us. So we've tried that for months at a time and years at a time, and then we're actually just covering multiple things right now. So
yeah, you are. Heidi, have you ever heard the phrase "good guys finish last"? That's the thing.
Yeah, something like that. But I like to be a little evil every now and then.
Oh my God, you are, and I love catching up. Just watch your streams. You know what I really love. I don't know if you're still doing it, but I really love is when you take like a 4-hour live and then just like recap it in 12 minutes and you just distill out all the nice, put in all the mean, and those are the best videos. Those are
right.
There you go.
We've been extremely busy, but we plan to start getting to that. Yes,
yeah, those are great.
Like we used to be.
Like Talk Soup was in the old days, just kind of condensing it down to what we learned.
Right.
I love the drama.
Yeah.
We all love the drama. That's why we're here.
Correct.
Well, you gotta have a little drama in your life.
Yeah, I came here for Heidi's comments.
Yeah.
So, Heidi,
I spelled it right from the beginning. Snitches get stitches.
Let's leave Paul Cardwell out of this, unless you're talking directly about him.
Yeah. Right.
I got a question for Heidi.
Sure.
You as an American in the Philippines, do you get as much attention from the culture as like an American guy does? Like always people surrounding you, wanting to get to where you from, everything, all the smiles, all the looks, and it just feels like you're a rock star in a sense?
The same as America?
No, in the Philippines, the same as
No, I mean, yes and no for multiple reasons. They actually do. I mean, one, I'm plus size. Two, I'm 6 foot tall. And I'm married to a Filipino. For all those reasons, I get the attention. So before the country reopened up, I really didn't, especially being I'm not in the dead of the city and I'm in Mabalakit. Like if I go to talk to the girls or anybody, they get kind of shy about things. And so sometimes, but not the way the guys will actually get it. No. But I stand out 100%. Yes, but now that the country's reopened and there's more expats here, it's not as, where it was a couple of years when I arrived.
Yeah. Yeah. Just curious. And regular guy.
I wasn't listening. What did you ask?
Someone wake up, Scotty. Lonnie, what's your question? He's listening.
Oh, not really.
Well, Heidi, I think you get the attention because you're one of the few American women there who actually married her trike driver.
I got a serious question for George.
Right?
I got a very serious question for George. George,
Yeah.
do you ever like go out, like, going out in the market or something, and like they see you with Heidi, and then do other Filipino guys like see you as like the prize guy or something, and they give you comments like, yeah, that's a good pull or something like that, like a gold digging comment or anything like that?
We've
Like a sugar
discussed
boy?
that.
Well, they don't say it directly, but yes, there is that feel that
Do you get high fives?
dude, you
Yeah.
struck gold, that kind of deal. Yes.
Right. The same as any expat. It wouldn't make a difference. It's just them seeing a Filipino with a actual, with an expat. I don't,
And
think it's
kind of odd.
We said that it's
because the most common thing that they say, true story, which is weird. I love your jeans. Can I have them?
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Are we referring to your pants or?
Yes. And then, I'm like, what do you mean? They're just jeans. Yeah, but they're from the U.S., right?
Whoa. I think George, you've been misunderstanding this whole time. And are they handing you a small cup?
right.
Because I don't think it's the pants.
Right.
Here's a small cup and a magazine, Poe.
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Barely.
We hear you.
I must be far away from the mic, but yeah, I've been listening to you guys, and you guys are quite very interesting, especially George and Heidi, and then of course Michael. And this is the first time I met Mark, and I always listen to Andy and also Scotty, but I'm wrong, guys. It's because of your faces.
Oh, what happened?
Can you hear me, or is it too far
Yeah,
away?
no.
Oh, you're still there.
Yes.
You're
We
still
lost
there.
Andy, is what.
Okay.
Andy
Yeah,
dropped.
someone switched out. Well, it's very nice meeting you. And we'll be doing a lot more of these open panel live streams. We have been for a while. So
Yeah.
I think we officially hit just on YouTube, 1.5 million. We got 4 or 5 million views on TikTok and way more on Facebook. So we'll hit, I think, 4 years in September. So we're slowly growing, but we're very excited and happy about it. So,
Yeah, and we thank you guys again. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you all of you in the chat
So
and
I think the open
live
panel.
feed.
It's like the old days. I told George a long time ago, and we kind of delayed in doing this, is to actually do the open panel and let people in to talk and everything. Like I said, it reminds me of the old radio days where people would call in when they listened to radio shows. And, they've been doing them for a few years, but it just got more prominent. Like every blogger is doing live streams the last year or two. And so we wanted to do more increase. So we've been doing more of those per our YouTube manager than we have actually been doing content. So sometimes we release like one video a week where we were doing a video every day, but doing one every day and editing every day in our regular life and planning just got to be too much. And we still plan for the live streams, but this seems to be, where it's at right now. So got a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, because you guys are, because I'm already 60 here, so I'm planning my retirement in the Philippines because my parents from originally from there. One is from Bacoor, Cavite, and the other one is from Aurora, Masbate. And my father left me land about 1 hectare over there, so I'm planning
Oh,
already to retire there and so forth. And as Andy says about IT, well, I'm in IT. I'm almost gonna retire.
Where did
Yeah.
he say? I heard Cavite. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, my mother was from Bacoor, Cavite, and what you call that? My father used to work for the airline, which is Pan American World Airways. So we used to go there every year when when he was still working. So we took vacations there. So I know pretty much George how to speak Tagalog. Marunong ako mag-Tagalog diyan kasi nag-uusap yung tatay ko sa akin eh.
Yes. Yes.
So, what you call this? George is pretty correct with the fact that when I used to go to the Philippines, because I spoke perfect English, you might say, because I studied here in Guam. Well, they kind of looked at me kind of funny until I learned the language, but I could understand what they're talking behind my back. So every time they would talk behind my back, I was like, "Oh, I already know what you're saying to me." Okay. uh, it was fun going back there because in the olden days, I remember me in the fiestas and so forth, in the parades. I used to be always wear my Americana suit or my suit, and I used to be in the parades with the girls and so forth like that. It was so
Right.
fun just to go to that because of the fact that, as you know, when you're American and so forth, well, that's what my parents. Because my even though we are Filipino, we look brown skinned, but we dressed up real fine and dandy because my father is from here. Actually, you should hear the story regarding my father because my father came here in what you call 1945, 47, sorry, to Guam,
Okay.
and then he became a U.S. citizen because of the Organic Act that was formed in this island, and he had the
Wow.
chance to become an American citizen. So when he became an American citizen, that's when he petitioned my mother and to come there, and then I was born 2 years later. But the funny thing with my father was that since he was such a playboy, he used to sing under my mother's balcony and serenade her for 7 years until my grandmother actually said, "Okay, he's good." And
Yeah, that's kind of like George when he's returned home and it's been a couple years. They still think he's an OFW or something because of the way he dresses. Like he doesn't wear shorts or any tanks, or he doesn't wear the flip flops or anything. So goes out in Nike shoes and jeans,
yeah,
and
that's it.
he just
And my,
kind of sticks out. And I was like, man, we're getting double skin tax today.
yeah.
So gee
Did
whiz.
you know when my mother? Okay, here's a funny one. My when my mother was still young and my father was serenading underneath the balcony, my grandmother, which is my mother's mother, right? Uh, every time my father would stop singing his song because he finished, she would throw kanin baboy all over his head every day.
Yes. Yes. That's the real thing. Yes.
I'm like, holy crap! I go, Dad did it. Yeah, she threw me every time, every time. I was like, oh my god. Uh, it was so funny just to hear all those stories from way back when and so forth like that. It's like, oh god, Dad. But oh, by the way, if you're wondering who that person is in the photograph with me is my mother.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Passed away.
Oh, that's sweet. That's very sweet.
Passed away. What you call this? When she was 85.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
sorry for your loss.
And
Yeah. Sorry.
well, my father passed away 55 from here on Guam. And then
Wow.
what I did was that when my mother finally passed away, I took them both, I cremated them, and I took them to the Philippines and to be buried so they can
wow.
be together. But
That's pretty
the
sweet.
funny thing is when I finally brought them there to the Philippines, right? And of course you have to get what you might call permission to do it and buried them there, right? Because they were here so long. When I finally got all the paperwork done and everything else, when it came down to at the airport, when they had to check everything out just to make sure that the urns were sealed,
Man, I just put you in a Folger can or canister and snuck you in like that puppy.
Hey, Rudy, I have a question.
Sure.
Were you tempted to throw your father on top of your grandmother as mother-in-law as revenge?
Well, let me tell you about, okay, on the family plot, Mark, what they do in the Philippines, and George would know this, when you buy a family plot,
mausoleums,
you can actually stack each person because it's so deep, right? You can stack one after the other and so forth like that. So my mother bought this a long time ago and so forth, like, to bury our family one by one. And so what happened is that my mother's family was so big. There was a couple of brothers and a sister and so forth. So when it came down to burial, she was the fifth one on top.
Oh, wow.
Right? And what you call this? And then, but the thing is that when they came down to the airport to pick up my mother or my father, I told them, you don't have to, because I brought them in an urn. And they go, no, we have the hearse here to pick them up. I go, you don't have to do that, because this is them. I showed it to them, and they were in an urn. They were looking at me like, where's the body? There's no body. There's no body at all. No, but they were there because I informed them that we're going to do a burial. So in earnest, they came down to the airport. I said, okay, sir, we're here to pick up the body. Look, there's no body. I'm serious right now. In Tagalog terms, walang katawan. Diba, George? Walang katawan ito. Kasi namatay na yung tatay ko. This is a ubo lang. Which just means it's dust only. It's an urn inside. I'm like, oh my God, these people do not understand. So when we actually did that, everything and so forth, I told them at the cemetery to put, instead of putting my mother, my father inside the burial plot, I told them to put on top with just make a cement post so I can put them inside there. So it'd be easier for everybody to look at. But in all earnest, they already they used the what you might call backhoe to dig the hole, and they charged me for it. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Well, bless you for taking care of your family, and
yes.
Oh yeah, I had to.
And we're sorry for your losses. That's
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I have my own son here. But what you call this? But you guys actually don't know this. But I am divorced. I imported my ex-wife from the Philippines here from vegan, and then when she joined the military, she divorced me.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. After joining the military for 4 years, she came back to the island after I took a vacation with my son to the Philippines, showed up on my doorstep 4 days later and said, I want a divorce. I was like, wow. Whoa.
I was just going to keep part of George, the best part. And I was going to put it in that Nescafe glass jars that I have.
Pickle.
Just don't put it in a Lifesavers container. That would be weird.
Well, it can be cremated, so you're right. It might fit in there better.
Thanks, Mark. I love you too, man. Lifesavers container. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Don't make fun. You're making fun of Mushroom Cap.
There you go. That's right, Mushroom Cap.
Michael, there's such a thing as being a grower, not a shower, and that's the whole Mushroom Cap.
So we're going to be talking about.
I saw that woman in the background. She looked very happy, Michael. She looked very happy.
Oh yeah, actually, the problem. My mom lived for so long because of the fact that all she ever did was eat fish. That's all she ever did. And the strange thing about it, the only reason why she got sick and passed away is that the doctor asked me, hey, do you want a flu shot for your mother? And I said, sure.
Oh no.
So I gave her the flu. We gave her the flu shot, and then that's when she got bronchitis for 3 months, and then she passed away.
Oh, wow.
It happens, yeah, because of my lupus and the asthma I already have. Same thing.
Yeah.
They were constantly giving it to me. But honestly, it's like I said, it gives you a little bit of the flu every time. But I haven't had one since I've been here. So, but No, nope. That
Yeah, but
yeah, that's very sad.
I'm telling you, my mother was healthy all the way through because the only reason why she, like I said, the only reason she got bronchitis, and then when I went to the Philippines one time to check out my fiance who became my wife, right, and then she threw up blood when I had to rush back home because of what happened, and then I found out she was in the hospital and then in a wheelchair, and that's where she got stuck on, and I was like, you know, to myself, I'm like, why did I ever give her that flu shot? Like, damn, if I didn't do it, she'd be still here and living off and everything else. Oh, it was so, and then I had issues on her deathbed. She wanted to go back to the Philippines, right? And I arranged everything to go back to the Philippines. And when it came down, when she was finally well enough to travel, Philippine Airlines, who was going to put her there, said she couldn't fly because they were not going to take the chance that she might pass away on the plane.
Yeah, there's been a problem with them as far as the elderly and with any medical conditions or whether they'll let them fly. So, yeah, that's very sad.
I even paid for the oxygen tank to be sitting right next to her so she could have the oxygen tank. And they denied her. When I finally got everything set and ready, they denied her completely. And so mom was so what you might call depressed after that because she was already getting ready to travel and spend her last moments with her relatives and so forth and that, and then they denied her, and she was so distraught.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
My heart goes out to you, Rudy. That it's a sad.
Yeah, no, that's very unfortunate. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I tried my best and so forth like that, but it was so.
That's like George's parents might eventually come back here too. They're U.S. citizens too. So they're talking about possibly coming back this way.
Yeah, I would suggest that, George, because when it comes time for them, they know when they're going to be passing away. When they finally come to what they're going to do, they want to come back to see all of their relatives and friends and so forth again one last time before they actually.
Right.
How long has it been?
3 years. But that's the thing. It's kind of like I said. It's kind of sad if my parents ever come here. You know, it's a sign. Yes,
I know.
It's a very sad. It's nice,
that
but
if they're
sad
coming
at the same
home,
time.
that it's not like a really good sign, but yeah.
Yeah, they're coming home to come home. Yes.
Yeah.
You know that Guam is only like 3 hours away from the Philippines, and I thought that Philippine Airlines for 3 hours would just accommodate my mother specifically because of the fact that it's only 3 hours away, and they couldn't accommodate her for 3 hours. I'm like, oh my God, these people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate everybody being here. I'm exhausted. So we're going to wrap up this live stream, and we do appreciate everybody.
Thank you so much,
joining.
guys. Appreciate it. We love you all. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark,
Rudy.
so much.
Andy, you guys, Scotty Boy, yeah, thank you so much.
And everybody that's joined us. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and we appreciate you guys stopping in today. Like I said, we had Andy.
I know, what a name. What a name. Philippine Bitchin' Life.
So there's too many to actually mention. Bruce Davis was back in the house again, and we had a few people, but we appreciate you guys being in here. Thank you again, guests, and we will see you guys next time. So probably won't be tomorrow, which is our normal.
Well, it's the same day for the ones in the US,
right? But next should be Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll probably see about getting into the finances and stuff, and see if nobody else gets arrested. Guys, peace be with you. Love you guys. Take care of yourself. As we always say, keep your heads up and your hearts open. Send us any gossip that you got so we could keep this thing and this train rolling.
There you go.
God bless everybody.
Love you guys.
Bye. Good night. Good morning.
Good night.
Good afternoon.